but you can only see the brim of it. You can't see the top part of it.
It's like Rosa sitting in the front seat of a car on a sunny day.
Oh.
Minerva Podcast episode 59.
Yay, I'm back.
Hello,
that was the
back.
main thing that we missed.
I was wondering,
episode,
why
right?
is Chriselle so cropped? He's so low. I had that set up for Donna. Here,
Sorry. Hey, come on, YouTube notifications.
There we go.
Thank you, YouTube notifications.
Get him
There
a
we go.
little more in frame since we have more of a human to work
Okay.
with this time. There we go.
Do some scooting.
What the supposed to mean?
Okay.
You are less of a human. You're small. Physically,
Hey.
settle down. Jesus.
That is...
Percentage-wise, he has
Yes.
more people than you.
Phrasing!
Yeah.
Phrasing!
Now you heard it how you wanted to hear it.
Percentage-wise, he has more people than you.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Although, more specifically, she was in a car last time, so it wasn't really...
No, I wasn't.
Or were...
I think you mean last time. Last time I
don't
was
know.
here.
The last time I used this
last
thing, she
time?
had a whole...
Yeah,
setup that-
actually that makes
Couple
sense.
times.
Oh, I think it was
No!
last time where she fixed her camera, quote, and then it made it worse for me. I was like, damn
Zoomed
it,
in
I
on
need
it?
to... Then I had to fix it, and then... Well, here we are.
Yes.
Alright.
I fixed my
Hey, look, I'm
camera
a mod
for
here.
me. Ah!
I'm
Also
officially
hi.
Deeming moving faces easier than writing text. There we go.
Makes
Look at
sense.
that. We look more professional now. Hey. And now everybody here
Yay.
gets to feel
Differently
special because I haven't
organized.
tagged on Discord yet, so you're all early.
What is this live? Yes, this is live.
It is live.
We're not going to
It's
be
very
talking to the
exciting.
chat a lot, but yeah. It's
We will
you guys are-
address
You're here to
them
hang out?
occasionally. Yeah.
You know what I will say I prefer about YouTube streaming as of late is Twitch waits like a year and a half just to make sure that you're streaming or something. Whereas YouTube, I hit live and it is seconds before just everybody's here. Hey guys, welcome. what you guys doing? Podcast? Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, good show going on.
Is that boba tea, Rosa?
Yes, it is. I have boba tea and Hawaiian barbecue, and
That's my
God, am
favorite
I
thing.
glad to be back in California.
Oh my God, did I send you that TikTok? The
You
boba
may
tea
have.
one?
I haven't looked.
There's a guy pulls a straw out of the
I
boba
didn't
tea,
get
and
it.
he's like got a mouthful of the boba tea like ball things, and he goes
Yeah.
out of it.
I did see that
Makes the-
TikTok.
It
You
makes
didn't
a
send it
super
to me, but I
great
did
sound.
see it. But yeah, my favorite is taro boba tea. That stuff's the best.
I don't
It's
drink that
like-
nonsense.
I don't even know what flavor it is besides taro because I've never really had that before, aside from boba tea, and that's it.
Oh,
I
know.
got
Chat.
My only frame of
mango
reference.
snow bubble, which is like mango with milk, but I got soy milk so that I don't shit myself in the middle of the show.
Oh,
It's a good thing
Just
to
for
not
you.
do.
thank you.
Yeah, just for you.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Sig did shave, and we're all disappointed, except
almost
for
put a
maybe Sig
smiley
because
face next
it's
to
his
it.
facial hair, and he gets to choose what he does with it.
Yeah, he does get to choose what he does with it, but
we do
Rosa
miss it.
hates facial hair, so
Oh,
Would have preferred to have been able to just have it, better manicured, but I've been missing the opportunity to go to the barbershop with this
Mm.
whole COVID-19 nonsense.
fair point.
So going out into the garage in the middle of the night with the clippers and just going, get rid of it was the solution.
Most violent fashion.
I love
Yes.
it. I love it.
And,
You know, I've had a couple
the
of
best part about it, it'll be back in a couple weeks. I'm not really that worried.
Yeah, your facial hair grows a lot faster than mine does. Mine's been
Mine
like
was
this
about
for a
as long
year.
as yours.
And it doesn't grow out. It's annoying. But yeah, I've had a couple of instances where I've had to like panic shave real quick, and all those were at like 4 o'clock in the morning when I have to go do army stuff, and it's not the funnest time, but I mean, I do miss a couple spots, and that's why I always carried a razor on me, is planning ahead. But
hate
I mean, I think at that point in time, I didn't have any sort of clippers, so I was trying to do all of that with one of those little Gillette 5-bladed razors.
Mhm.
It was a bad
That's what
time.
I shave my head.
Okay, so the like really
But they go
cheap,
dull super quick.
They
the
do.
really cheap like 5-pack of Bic single blade plastic razors you can buy
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
for like $1. They're the
Mhm.
cheapest thing ever.
Okay, you go
I
first.
used those for years because
Yeah.
they work for me. They were
Mhm.
they were not a problem for me when I had to shave.
Yeah.
I had to shave for army wives and stuff like that. I had to shave when I was locked up, and it was a whole thing. Like, but that's when I found out about the things, was when I was locked up, because they gave those to people. Because
Yeah.
you didn't have to buy those; they just gave them to you to use. And yeah, shaving with those, like dry shave, because I can't use shaving cream
Yeah.
because it'll cause me to break out really bad.
Mhm.
So just water and razor, and that's it. And it
Mhm.
worked. So for
Most-
years,
Yeah.
I just shaved with a single blade, and that was it.
Yeah. Most every single one of my shaves has been without any shaving cream, and I just had a fairly tough face, I guess. But at the end of my
Pretty much
time
what
in
it
the
was at for me.
army, I started having problems with that. So I used shaving cream, and then I decided I don't want to spend a bunch of money on razors anymore. So I switched over to a wet razor, which is like a single little like razor blade, and you can get like 100 of them for $20. And I still have the pack of 100 that I have for
I
like
always
2 years that I was in the army, and
throughout
yeah,
all
it's
that
not
time,
even used.
I always wanted to get one of those like handles that you can put a razor blade into, like
Oh,
you buy
God.
an axe, like like your great grandfather used to
No,
have, or
that's
whatever.
exactly what I have now.
Yeah,
I mean, I have
that's what I'm
literally no
saying,
reason to use it.
I wanted
for
something
anything.
like that forever, and it just never happened or whatever.
Yeah.
I never, specifically went and ordered one off of Amazon or whatever. It was
Yeah.
always just like, oh yeah, I'll get one day, and never did.
They were like 20. The one that I got was like $20 or $30, and yeah, if I were to shave at some point in time, which I don't feel like it, because I don't know, I want to be Gandalf one day. Yeah, if I were to shave at one point, then I would use that, and I wouldn't have to pay any more money for razors for the rest of my life or something. So yeah, they last a while.
PCOS. I bet I could join, or I could grow a sweet Fu Manchu if I tried.
That'd be cool.
Please don't try.
I mean,
Don't tell me what to do.
No, I did not say do not. I said please don't. That was
That's
a request of you.
I'm gonna tell you to try.
it's a polite one.
I think it would be really funny to have like a full Fu Manchu after I get my tits done. Huge tits, Fu Manchu.
I would still
Yeah.
love you, but I'd be a little weirded out. Sorry.
The
Yeah.
Fu
What
Manchu
it
is like, there's a lot going on with
You'd be
just
like,
that,
oh, she's
like,
hot,
little bit
but
of
she
facial
has
hair.
a mustache.
You know
I
how
don't know how I
people
feel about
say
that.
those things where like, I wouldn't judge you if we would judge you.
Totally judging.
I don't
mean,
give a fuck.
she'd be like one of the dwarves from Lord of the Rings or something.
That helps me picture
Which
it.
I've been actually
that
reading
your
those
brother?
books.
That's
and
my wife.
audiobooks. Yeah.
I'm short and a little chubby. Like, it works. It
Yeah.
works.
And how well can you like swing a hammer and turn it into a helmet? Turn an iron ingot into a helmet.
I think I'd have to practice.
She
Okay.
has played a little bit
That's
of
fine.
Minecraft.
Yeah, I guess it's not that hard. You just get 5 of them and like put them in a little upside down C shape, and you're good to go.
I was chuckling before the show because Ben's DM'd me. He said, I love you, son. Have a good day at work.
Are you winning, son?
This is just an unprompted message. I haven't talked to him since yesterday.
That's funny.
That's how it feels, though.
Ben!
I'm waking up on a timer, getting up, ready for the... What did he say?
Rosa
she
swallowed that
saw
thing
his
whole
message.
research purposes.
Got it.
Yeah.
So it's just that unprompted message just gave me a chuckle. And Acorn was telling me to grow a beard. I've said this before. I'd rather laser it off. Shaving is just a thing that I don't like doing. And I take from my dad, who grew out his beard like in his 20s and then has just shaved it for 50 years now. Well, I mean, he's 50 plus, so he's been just shaving other than that one little time where he tried it, went, nah. So I'm like, if I'm going to be like that, I'd rather just be smooth, because I use an electric razor like every other day. So I've always got a little scruffle, and there's always a spot I missed somewhere. It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
I really would rather just get the appointment, just get it all gone.
I thought about the laser thing like you did, like you talked about, but I thought just the hair that shows up from my eye to right about here, like all that shows up on my cheekbone that I hate and I end up shaving off anyway. and
Your
everything
Wolverine
under,
hair.
yeah, everything under here that I would shave off if it
The
wasn't
tricky
such an
thing
issue
is,
all the time anyway.
if you're gonna laser that in, that's your permanent. That's your beard now.
Yeah, just like a hairline.
It's like a tattoo, but for hair.
I wonder if they
Just
I
laser
wonder if
that
people
out
who
so
do
that-
that. Because you
I'm
think
sure
about
they
those
do.
beards, and they're like, that's. You trim that
Yeah.
every day, or did you? I don't
There's
know.
people that get it waxed.
I did for a long.
So
I
I'm
did
sure
for a
there's
long time
people that.
trim all of this while I grew out the rest of it, and that was more problem once it got to about the length of what Chriselle has. It became
Yeah.
more of an issue to like have to pull it up out of the way, to
Yeah.
shave underneath it and stuff.
Yeah, right now I couldn't imagine doing that.
Yeah.
It sounds like a big chore. I mean, doing anything regarding shaving sounds like a big chore that I don't feel like doing. So,
I used to shave every day, but then I realized like I could skip a day and just ignore it. But even then, every time it's whatever shaving day, I'm like, ugh. There's a whole thing I have to do. It extends my whole end of the night routine. It's just
yeah.
you'd kill to see me with a beard. Photoshop exists. You don't need me to grow it out. I'd
Mhm.
kill to not have a beard. Wait.
Same.
There's nothing about it that has ever even remote. It's one of those, it's like tattoos like we talked about, where if I didn't see that other people grew beards, I wouldn't even consider it an option. Like
Yeah.
I've just never
Yeah.
ever wanted hair on my face or like anywhere below that either. Like I don't need any of that hair. Maybe on my arm.
Yeah.
I don't really care about my arm, but
Yeah.
on the head though,
I-
ironically, I wouldn't want to be bald. I prefer to have hair. You know, it gives me a little.
I
bit
do
of
shave
a...
my armpits, and it's great.
See, I've thought I
I
did that
hate
once,
armpit hair.
and then like you
It's the
skip
worst.
a day, and then it's little daggers, and it's like you that is a daily
You get
upkeep.
used to it. No,
Did
it's not.
I do it wrong?
You
Did I do it?
maybe you
wrong?
just have weak skin. I'm wearing a hoodie because I didn't feel like shaving my armpits for like the last 3 days, and I'm pale with black hair, so I didn't want you guys to be like,
Well, the
"Ew,"
one
but
time
now I'm selling myself out. But
Well, one
Be
time I
like,
did it.
"Ew,
It was
who
an
cares?
uncomfortable
It's your armpit.
while.
I wish that all dudes shaved their armpits.
Really?
Because as a short female about armpit height, I hate it when your fucking hair is hanging out of your fucking t-shirt.
Yeah.
So gross.
The worst thing is like when there's like a couple of them just like just going out that way.
The hair that bothers me the most that I have is the little bit that pokes out of the top of my neck of my collar of my shirt right here. That
Yeah.
little bit bothers
See,
the
I
shit out of me.
could, that's whatever, but like I said, I'm like, and you have like fucking 6-inch long hair poking out of your.
It does.
Like that's just
Yeah.
a dumb spot to have hair, to be honest, and I don't like it at all. And it should
Just
go.
shave
and
it. It's
yeah, I just get
easier
rid of
than
it. It's so much
shaving your
easier.
face. Like you're shaving your face every day
I
in the
don't shave my
shower. Just be
face.
like, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, and like
I
you don't even
refuse
need
to
a
shave my
mirror
face.
either. Like you can
Yeah,
see your
yeah,
own
you
armpits.
I don't even look. I'm just like.
Yeah.
I say as I've been too lazy for the last couple of days, but that's because it's just been a hit the nasty triangle and then go.
Yeah, that's
Fucking
fair.
wet wipe horse shower.
No, like in the shower, but like
Mhm.
I'm too tired to function.
Do the important
lately.
bits and move on. No, what do you got there, Beast? Is that one of those bowls?
It is.
A bowl
Did I
of
I
food.
don't
inspire-
think
you?
it's technically lo mein, but it's noodles and
Chicken.
sweet and sour chicken. I don't actually know what they
Yeah.
call it.
That's not what I was thinking of.
Deal me.
No, we went 2 a.m. grocery shopping last night.
That's the best time to go, honestly.
Technically today.
Well, yeah,
LOL.
we talked about that a little bit because I was talking to Akova when I was waiting on a response from Beast about whether or not we were going to go. Well, I was in a call with a handful of people, but Akova was the one that I was actually talking to about the shopping thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, the whole 2 a.m. nobody else in the store because you don't want to run into other people anyway. COVID.
I'm not
Yeah.
concerned about that as much as I
Yeah.
just like having nobody in line at all. We are
Mhm.
That too.
literally, I'm not exaggerating, the only customer. We've got workers and not a single other patron in the entire store. Right up until we check out, and then there's like one dude there, and you're like, whoop. Have we
Where
just
even were you?
coexisted the whole
Yeah.
time? Because the aisles
Were
are
you
so high,
hiding
you
from
never
us
know.
intentionally?
Other side of the store.
Yeah.
Alternate universe
Yeah.
combined at checkout.
Oh,
No, I like
that's
it. We
the
were
best way
talking
to
about
go
those-
shopping.
The
Not have to
mega
interact
bowls,
with anyone.
and
within your plane of existence.
They have like a permanent pricing of like 4 for $10. So for less than $3, I can get like a properly sized meal. Like that's a good amount of food here.
I have so much rice
She's
and
just been
barbecue
snacking
chicken,
everything.
and this is my second pork bun, and I'm getting full.
I was gonna say that pork bun looked
Yeah.
pretty good, actually.
I just had
Oh,
Taco
it's
Bell
so
for lunch,
fucking
and it
good,
was
dude.
great. And
Taco Bell. I
yeah,
haven't had Taco Bell in a long time.
I mean,
No.
it's,
I heard
it's
they're
about
bringing
the
the
same.
potatoes back, so
We have a Taco
Enough people
John's
pitched a
nearby,
bitch.
which is similar in food style and nothing else. They taste very different, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's closer,
see-
and I prefer the taste. And it's Taco Bell. The last time I had
seasoning.
Taco, well, maybe not the last time, but one of like the last 5 times ruined it for me. We were mining the Nether perimeter as a group. It was a whole operation, very fun times. And
Been a minute.
I was starving. It was one of those days where I had forgotten to eat. So I figured, all right, well, yeah, we'll get Taco Bell. And Mom went and got it and brought it back for the family. And it was awful. Like what Taco Bell did to my empty stomach was worse than being hungry. I just felt sick. I'm like, God, this isn't even improvement. I would have rather been hungry. Like, this is not better. I ended the stream early. It was bad. I was like, I'm just gonna rest. Like, this was a mistake. And I might be, and you might think I'm dramatic, but it really did cut my session short. I'm like, you know what? I'm taking it easy. This is because I have
my husband loves Taco Bell, and I think it's so gross. The only time I would willingly eat Taco Bell was back when I was living in North Carolina. I lived really close to our like go-to bar. Me and my friends like go-to bar.
Yeah.
And so the only place that was open when I was leaving the bar between my house and the bar, because I was only 4 blocks away, was Taco Bell. So I'd be like, yeah, fuck it. It's, 2 a.m. I'm hungry. Let's get a burrito. Because I'm not a big drinker. So I'd have like a beer in the beginning of the night, and then I'd be the DD.
Hmm.
And then I'd have a
designated
car
driver.
full
Okay.
of drunk people.
That term was
And
not.
then-
Yeah.
What?
Nothing. Just I had to figure out what designated driver was. I just don't know what his DD. Continue.
Anyways. And so that's the only time I would willingly get Taco Bell is if I had a car full of drunk people I was trying to shove carbs into before I put them on my couch.
Soak up
Yeah.
alcohol so that they don't puke in your house.
Yeah, and if they do puke, it's not painful.
Just
'Cause
lay them on their
nothing
side.
is
Everyone
worse
gets their own trash can.
My problem back
Yep.
then and today is like with the metabolism it's like I'm almost like when I'm hungry it's like empty, no body fat, no cushioning. So when I eat something like Taco Bell, that shit's like mainlining it like right into my bloodstream. So for me, that's why like I've told Sig I don't snack that often. I always have these snacks and chips around me because I don't eat them that much. I can't that often because when I'm hungry I'm empty, and if I eat chocolate that's going right into me. It's getting absorbed, and it's not fun. So like I've done streams recently actually where we had like Sonic or McDonald's for breakfast, and I am noticeably a shell of what I would normally be, where I'm just sick. It's like I poisoned myself. I'm like, oh god. So Taco Bell for me, I have to eat it with padding. So if I've eaten in the last couple of hours, maybe sure, yeah, Taco Bell's yummy. I will enjoy it, but it can't be my meal. It just won't.
Right.
Yeah.
It won't function that way. Yeah.
That's another reason I'm so glad I'm back in California. Because in North Carolina, everything closes at like 10 p.m.
Ooh.
And here in I grew up in California. I'm used to being able to be like,
Everything is 24 hours.
not even 24 hours, but everything doesn't close until like 3, like,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
at earliest like midnight. Everything closes at midnight.
We
Like
have,
that's a
So-
reasonable time for things to close.
Right.
local
10 is
McDonald's-
like that's just dumb.
Our local McDonald's isn't 24/7. It closes at midnight. And Taco Bell is the only place that's open between midnight and 3 a.m. And that's the only reason I've considered it.
The Sonic
recently.
in North Carolina that was by my house. So there was a Sonic right next to the Taco Bell. The Sonic closed at 11. So
Jeez.
I've never known a
Are
Sonic
they like
anywhere.
closed on
10
Sundays too or something?
I went to college in Kansas, in bumfuck nowhere, Kansas, and the Sonic there was 24 hours. Like, What the fuck, North
Sig and I
Carolina?
left the
What
house
the fuck?
under Southern's guide. He was like, "Oh yeah, no, Sonic's 24/7 or whatever. It's they close at midnight or whatever he said." And we got that. We left the house, and I checked it. And it closed at 10. I was like,
Yeah.
good thing McDonald's was right across the street. We were fine, but
Right?
still, it was like literally
Just tea
across
time.
the street. It's awesome. It's like a 4-minute drive. My sister was shocked. I was like, "Yeah, let's go to McDonald's." She's like, "Holy shit, it's right, it's right there." What?
It's right there.
Oh, it's so fun. It's ironic because our McDonald's isn't open 24/7 like it was at the old house, but it's closer, which works. I don't know. And there is a 24/7 one if you want to drive 10 minutes, which I did do once. That was fun-ish. I don't know.
I'm so happy I have Jack in a Box again. You guys don't understand what a fat ass I am. I fucking love food. So
I know
if you
Ben's
thought
does.
I ate a lot on stream before, I got access
Jack in the
to
Box is pretty
good
good.
food now.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is when you start streaming again soon, there's going to be a lot more of you eating on stream, and I'm going to be like, God damn it, every time.
Yes. Yes, that is exactly what's going to happen. And also, I'm definitely going to like set up stream eats. Like, if you love
Oh, no.
me, you will send me
Treat stream.
French fries and
Yeah.
Jack in a Box tacos, which are the most delicious, most disgusting thing I am willing to put in my body. Like,
I hate those.
those are they are so disgusting, but they are so delicious.
No. I don't know. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I just,
I'm gonna-
those
you
don't
don't
get
have
along
to.
with me. I know,
I'm going to
but
put a hold on the conversation just for a moment and address what's going on in the chat. Again, guys, the podcasts are on YouTube for the time being because Twitch decided that they don't want to give partner to people who deserve partner
Oh,
based
I
on a
was not
stupid
gonna go
number.
there.
yeah.
So there's
This
was
is
just
also
gonna let
new to
them
me
wonder.
because we're just suddenly on YouTube again since last I've been on here.
Yeah. Now that
So
Well,
Yeah.
since Sig wants to
The
phrase
party.
it that way, I need to attempt the more
partner
diplomatic words. No, they have their requirement for partner is not updated or in line with how you can apply. So
yeah.
And honestly, I'd rather just keep the podcast on YouTube anyway. It doesn't really belong on Twitch because we're streaming it on Twitch and then I'm uploading it to YouTube anyway. So why don't we just stream it on YouTube? Like, it's just this whole extra step that doesn't need to happen. Because
Yeah.
then I need to record it and be conscious of that, and then I need to stop recording, and then I need to upload it to YouTube. I could just skip all that effort and just be live on YouTube anyway, which is where it all started anyway. So, yeah,
That works out.
it's
That's a
easier for
YouTube
me.
thing.
And
I mean, I'm just as frustrated or more so than a lot of people realize about the whole
I've heard
thing
about
with the-
people losing partner just by like venting about it. Like, it's a very
Jeez.
subjective application on Twitch. So if they don't want you for whatever personal reason, they can just decline you, and they will. I've
Yeah.
heard of it. So I'd like to zip it.
Avoid
Like when
it.
people vent
No.
about not getting partner on Twitter, that's a good way to make sure your next application doesn't go through. So I try to be very careful with my words, but it's true. You need to average 75 to apply, and then I've twice now been declined because every stream is not 75. I'm like, well, that's not
I was
what you
saying.
said.
Yeah.
Why did you let me apply if you're going to decline me on a technicality that a computer could have seen? Why did a human have to look
Yeah.
at that? What are we doing here? You're wasting my time. Months now. I have to wait 2 weeks to apply. So it's been like over a month I've been dealing with this.
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing. Anyway,
I was plenty happy to skip that conversation this week, but there we go.
yeah.
Does this show up in the?
I need a doorknob
Thingy
that
thing.
locks, because this door does not lock, and my whole fucking family has tried to come in here like 3 times.
Could you like
Can you
brace
look
it with
over
like a
here?
crate or something?
I have a box in front of the door. That's why I said they tried to come in.
Yeah.
Because they try to open the door and then they like hit the box where if they pushed hard enough they can get in. Like, it's not
Mhm.
locked. but they keep trying to come in. So I don't know if you noticed a minute ago, I muted my mic, and if I looked crazy turning my head, I yelled, "It's podcast time."
Those were the murder eyes.
We've been doing this for a year.
I say the same thing to my mom. She's on, like, I think the past 3 shows. Not today, actually. The past 3, she's invited me to, like, go on a thing. You're gonna go to the store with us? You're gonna go to this with us? You're gonna do this or that? And I'm like, I just look at her until she figures it out.
Yeah.
Podcast time.
It's Monday. She's like, what? 3 p.m.
She might not have said anything today because earlier today I was out there talking to them and I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go get ready for podcast and walk back in here.
And I mean, usually, I get it. My parents are aging. It happens. But, I mean, it's been a year.
Wow.
Oh, no, come on. It's been a while. It's been a few years now where they've, they tell me a story twice. Or,
Yep.
we're getting there.
I do that.
I do that too. Oh no, someone's coming in.
No, I mean, like,
That's a meow meow.
fully forgetting that we've had this conversation. And then they get to the 3rd time. And on very rare occasions, I'll be attempted. They'll attempt a 4th time, and I'm like, okay. That's only happened like once, though. Usually it's like 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, oh my god, Dad, I was there. I was standing. He'll retell a story. I'm like, I was there. That's what was right next to you.
My parents have been doing that to me my whole life, though.
In my dad's
just
case,
in their later age.
Sometimes it's less him forgetting that I was there, and more he just likes telling stories. He'll get a lot of mileage out of some not that interesting stuff, in my opinion, but
My father will tell me a story about me as if I wasn't there.
I think every parent does that once or twice.
My father likes to tell me that he taught me some things that he didn't actually teach me how to do. Like I learned how to weld on my own. He didn't teach me how to weld, and I was like doing
Aren't
some
you glad
welding.
I taught you that?
Yeah, it's like, no, you didn't teach me how to do that. Learn this on my own.
My adoptive father sometimes forgets that he didn't come into my life till I was 18. And we'll be talking about something, and I'll be like, oh, I've never done that. And he's like, I never took you to do that when you were a kid. And I was like,
You weren't part of my life when I was a kid.
yeah.
Yeah. Aw.
Yeah.
That's the perfect opportunity for him to do it now.
Oh, yeah.
We can go
Yeah.
as an adult.
Yeah.
We might be going to Disney World, so.
That's fun.
I'm a firm believer of putting all my emotional points into the future rather than the past. It's way too easy to regret not doing a thing, and that's such a waste of time. Like, just go do it. It's not necessarily too late, depending on the thing, but like a trip, like you mentioned, like, all right, well, we can just go do that now. No. Like if a kid never went to Disneyland, then okay, well, let's go.
Go.
Maybe not right now, but
No, he's really good about that. It's just funny because, dads are they're loving dads, and they're like, no, I did that. And you're like, no, Dad, you did.
Speaking of Disney, now that you're back in Cali, how far is Disney from you? For like a car trip?
45 minutes.
Not bad.
And I know this because we lived here before, and I had an annual pass, and I went 1 to 2 times a week.
That's
Holy
awesome.
That's why I was asking, because I was
not
pretty sure
realize
that
it was
last
that
time you
frequent.
had been fairly close,
yeah.
and I didn't know if you were back in the same place.
when it's that frequent, what's the game plan there?
So you have to understand that when you're going that frequent, it's not like when you go as like a once in a lifetime trip. You're not trying to do everything. When I would go that often, people watch, like I usually would leave like mid-morning.
Yeah.
We get there, get parked, get in the park, walk around a little bit, do a ride or two, go get lunch, sit. We had like a favorite spot to sit, because I would go with Clark, little baby Clark. Have a favorite spot to sit, eat our lunch, maybe get some popcorn, because as an annual pass holder, they had popcorn buckets you could get every season. And it was only $1 for a refill, so you could get hot, fresh Disneyland popcorn for $1. Clark loved popcorn, so like we'd do that. We'd sit, we'd people watch, go on another ride or two, and then go home.
No.
That sounds like it's like I imagine going to just a regular park if you
But with
have
rides.
the annual pass. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
That's
like
pretty
going to a
cool.
park, but with rides.
I think about the Mall of America that way, I guess, because we have an amusement park in
Yeah.
the middle. I haven't been in there since I was a kid. Walked
Well,
by
the-
it thousands of times. I mean, in
The
my
people
collective
watching-
Pokemon trips. You just don't go
Mhm.
in.
People watching
It's
at Disney.
It's expensive
Mhm.
shit.
Prime.
Like, that's-
Yeah.
I don't go to that park not because I don't want to. Hell, I'd go on a roller coaster. Fuck it. But that fuck it is like $60, and that's not worth. Like, I had a friend where she had like leftover wristbands, and it had enough points for us to go on like 3 coasters, and it was
Yeah.
like, okay. And you know what? As a more grown up at the time, I was like, yeah, no, that was good. That was that was a good trip. I didn't really need to do that twice. And I'm not looking at everything either. Like when I go there for Pokemon, I went to the 3rd floor last time. I think
Yeah.
I left late. It was really more like 6.5, 7 hours. Never even went on an escalator. I stayed on that 3rd floor the whole time. Parked on the 3rd floor. Because I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't need to go down. I'm not shopping. I don't.
Last time I went with Beast, I made him go up and down from floor to floor and
Mhm.
stuff because I just wanted to see different scenery because
Sure.
I wasn't
Yeah.
Pokemoning.
I was
Mhm.
not opposed to that. But as a
It's like,
regular,
there's
I'm
different
just not.
people on that floor. I want to go look at them.
Hmm. And people watching is a very real thing. You'll see some strange
Want to
stuff
see the
up there.
Hot Topic people and the Gap people.
Every once in a while. Well, not so much now, but when there were benches, you'd see like the obviously homeless guy every once in a while, and you're like, you've probably been woken up off of one of these benches once or twice, haven't you? I've seen people sleep on them. It's not trashy, but you see it every once in a while. 1 in 1,000
Hey,
people.
Sometimes I need a nap in the middle of shopping,
Right, but
especially.
you have a scraggly
big as-
beard and a beanie and.
I do have a beanie, okay?
I mean,
Obviously,
I have
Grow
a
the
beanie
scraggly
too.
beard.
I can get a scraggly beard.
Yeah.
I got a comment on my
It's a
YouTube
little
video
Fu
that
Manchu scraggly
somebody
one.
said that they play at the mall, and it's weird to think that I probably passed that person more than once because he was there for the community day the other day. So I was like, I was there
Yeah.
for 6 hours, and you, I don't know, maybe didn't see me or
Yeah.
didn't want to say hi or something, but it was like, oh, we met up with Lynx. He plays at the mall.
I bit
Yeah.
my cheek and I made it bleed and it hurts.
Oh no.
Well, you shouldn't have done that.
Good
I'm
advice,
sorry,
Sarah.
I have a fat face.
I just
Your
pictured
have
that
the
a
face has been attached to
Little
those
first day
teeth for
aid
years.
kit or something.
what is it, South Park, Captain Hindsight? To the rescue. Oh, it's funny
But,
meeting people at the mall too, because it's kind of a safe place. Like, it's protected by the amount of people. Like, nobody can try anything to anybody there because there's just so many witnesses everywhere you go. So that's fun to be at the mall, and it's
Is this
what?
I
Well, because
speaking
it's
No,
from
I just-
experience?
no. Well,
Sorry.
I did have a guy ask me for money one time. He's like, "Yo, you got some spare change?" And I'm sitting here with like 2 phones in my hand, like, no. No, I'm broke. I don't know. I did, but I'm not about to hand $1 to
all
someone.
my
I
money's
just-
digital. Sorry.
If you show up to the Mall of America and you're asking for $1, then I don't know what you're doing. I don't know. Maybe he's got to eat, but
I no, I recall
sell
the
alcohol at the
whole
mall?
meeting Austin to screw around and do Pokemon stuff that one time a couple weeks back,
yeah.
and we saw him from afar, and I was just like, Austin, across the mall. It's like, what is? Not a library. I don't give a shit.
I don't yell, but I like to be weirdly embarrassing. Like if I see him, I'll wave. I'll be that guy. That's always fun. I didn't do
First
it last
time
though.
Beast and I actually met in person. Well, I guess the only time we met in person was at a
First
mall.
time.
My little rinky-dink mall close to our house.
Mhm.
And
was
how
cute.
would you rate that on terms of malls? Is
I
it-
didn't see enough of it, and my standards
Okay.
are broken. Like we call
Yeah.
it the mall here because it's the mall. It's the only one we
It's
go
a
to.
city.
It's like
It's a small town.
Yeah.
it was a good mall. I don't know. You had a lot going on.
We have a Ferris wheel at that one.
Yeah,
It's-
it was
There
not
are-
a
there
tiny
are
mall.
more-
I was, from what I
There
saw,
are more
of it,
shops.
It was a good place.
There are more shops in the Mall of America than there were homes in the town I moved up here from.
Damn.
I will say, one of the malls we went to down close to where we were staying, and I forget what it was. I don't know. The little, oh god, it's like next to the golf, and I don't want to get the name wrong.
Corpus
Oh.
Christi?
Yeah, Corpus Christi. Was that it?
Crispus Corpsey?
Crispus Corpsey.
No,
I
it's
know
the
it's
other
not
one.
I know it's not the second
Peanut
one.
Yeah.
But they had them all there, and I thought it was abandoned. But no, that was just how many people were there. Shops just closed. But there was one open, and that's where everybody was. I was like, holy shit. Is this
Dallas
the
Fort Worth is kind of like I don't know. It's this weird abandoned mall desert. There's like 3 malls that were just opened and then shut down. And one of them actually still has a working movie theater. And that's the only building in the entire giant airport-sized complex that's still operational. And that was the best place for free movies. So it worked out.
Do you want to go live in a mall?
We could. That'd be so much fun. We'd have a giant little complex, and I don't know. It'd be a fun time.
Yeah.
Can have all the lathes I want, and
No, my mom
you
does.
can have whole shopping sections.
My mom
That-
pulled it.
I don't know
That's
if
where the
other
Gap
people do
used to
this.
be, but now it's where the big lathe is.
Yeah, it makes screaming noises out of metal.
Well, I mentioned that
No.
because I watched a video recently on, well, if anybody's curious, the channel's Ordinary Things. He made a video on malls. I got that huge Minnesotan pride when the Mall of America got brought up, of course, but
Yeah,
he commented how like almost 5,000 malls have closed in the past few years because they're just not working. But
yeah,
as I said, my perspective is borked because I'm like, what do you mean the Mall of America is thriving? But that was his example of like mega malls are doing fine in really high populated areas where they are a marvel. People go to the mall just because it's the mall. You know, the Mall of America, they're like, whoa.
Yeah.
A
and
lot of
like
times they don't even
the
think to shop.
complicated thing about it is like the mall itself is taking money from the businesses that are there. And the businesses are there aren't really fostering an environment where smaller businesses can really thrive. So it ends up just being these giant department stores. And then the giant department stores are annoyed that money is being taken away from them by the mall itself. And so it's kind of just a thing where everyone's like, okay, never mind. This was a fun little 10-year experiment, but we're out.
There's an endless loop.
Yeah.
Having visited a bunch, there is a lot of turnover. Stores duplicate, go away, something fills its space, somebody gets a new store, like it's constantly
Stuff
but
gets torn down or abandoned.
because it's the Mall of
It's so
America.
wasteful.
You're right. They are losing a lot of
What was
money
it?
by being there, but they also it's a good location. You get a lot
were
of
standing-
traffic.
Standing on the 3rd floor of the mall, and you could see Claire's on the 3rd floor, and on the 2nd floor, and over that way on the 1st
Oh,
floor. Like,
jeez.
you could see 3 shops of the same business.
And they all had
on the
people in
different
them.
floors.
They were
And
all
That's
doing
and
just
they're
good.
all
the
being
worst.
shopped at. That was crazy. But it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
you only need the one, right?
Like, how many ear piercings are you going to get?
Never did I think I'd have this conversation,
terrible
but
gun.
we. Oh, Alex is in chat. He knows all about the Mall of America. I think. Surely you do, but 'cause I think he's living in around there. But wait, I was thinking about like GameStop one time when Pokemon cards. You know, I mean, Pokemon Go was big, and I was like, I'm gonna buy a pack of cards. Why not? Showing up to GameStop, who's out of stock, thinking or saying to me, "Hey, you should try our other GameStop store at the mall." Just.
Just over there.
Go to the other GameStop. Games by James had us hooked up. So they were.
Yeah.
Who now has a Puzzles by James? They have a whole different store. They moved all their puzzles out of the game store.
That was funny.
Yeah, Chriselle,
What
you'd
was
love
always
Games by
fun
James. It
was like
Oh.
Oh, sorry.
What? I was saying you'd love that store. It's just a lot of board games. Like it's all the fun
That
stuff.
sounds fun, actually.
Cards Against Humanity.
What was
is
always
in
fun
there.
too was like the Radio Shacks in malls, and we had a lot of those. I
Yes,
loved
Radio
Radio Shack back in its prime when they didn't just sell cell phone plans. They sold
I was one
like
of those people that never actually built anything from Radio
Yeah.
Shack. I just bought little parts and tinkered and made little things that didn't
Yeah.
really work well.
I
I was
thought
one
it
of
was
those
fun
people.
looking at the little electrical components and stuff. Did I have any money because I was a little, I don't know, teenager at the time? No. So yeah, I mean, I just hung out and looked at the little electrical components and thought about what I could potentially buy. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was a fun time, and I miss that sort of like version of a type of store that's just about
Rosa.
like DIY stuff.
You know
I
what I'll
want
tell
to
you
alarm you.
does thrive in the mall for sure are the food places.
Yeah.
Not a lot of turnover there. They do well.
Yeah.
And I can attest, like I can't help myself, but buy food every time I'm there. I mean, even during the Pokemon event, we took a 15-minute pit stop, get my Panda Express. I don't need it any other time of the year, but when I'm at the mall, I don't know what it is. Panda Express is just...
No, I really wanted to go.
At the mall that you visited near where we were, Beast, you could walk through that tiny little food area. I don't know, what do you call it? Yeah, the food court. You just walk through that and get a full meal just from the free samples, because they were all competing with each other. Everyone had a free sample to give, and you could get like a full meal out of just free samples.
Many years ago, I worked in the mall in Charleston, and I worked at Sabaro's pizza place in the food court.
Yeah.
And the same situation. There was always somebody out in front of almost every shop with a tray of toothpick items going, here, have a sample. Here, have a sample. And handing out napkins. And I legitimately watched people make the circle a few times just to get a meal in without having to pay for it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I do that on accident sometimes because I don't know what I want to eat, and I'll be like, okay, I'll try that. Okay, I'll try that.
You're the perfect customer for them, Rosa.
and then I'll be like, oh yeah, that was really good. I want to get that. And then I'm like, hold on, but now I'm full.
No, and the fun ones also were the kids,
like
in Stranger Things, where the kids would go up to the ice cream shop and they'd go, let me try that. And they'd give them a little tasting spoon of it. Let me try that. And give them a little tasting spoon of it. Next thing you know, they've had 8 different which is a freaking ice cream cone worth, and they're like, all right, thanks, and walk away. It's like, you little jerk.
They don't do so much samples at the mall, but it's one of those, they don't have to, because when somebody says at the food court, you have to specify which one. I don't know that there are multiple floors, but there's definitely like a north and south food court. It's fucking stupid.
It is kind of
and on top of that, I think there's a food court. No, there's 2 food courts and a food district, which is different. There are like actual fucking restaurants. You could sit down to Benihana and get a freaking... It's awesome. It was very yummy.
The district thing is like you're walking down a hallway with restaurant on both sides all the way down it.
Like I earlier, I thought to myself, I forgot if they sold alcohol there, but I should remember because a bunch of people from our group last time broke off to go have dinner at Margaritaville, where they I don't know if they drank, but they were out of commission for a good part.
Going to Margaritaville, I mean,
having dinner.
It's almost disappointing if you don't go.
Yeah, it's like
margaritas.
And I feel so weird because I'm still saying, well, I guess I was hanging out with Lynx and Austin, who neither of them can drink, but I guess I technically can now, but it's not me.
Yeah.
When I show up for that event, I was significantly less focused on getting drunk. I wanted to catch.
You don't need to get drunk to enjoy a margarita, though.
Oh, I would get drunk. I've never drank anything.
That's true.
Anything
But you also have a high metabolism, so you might not get drunk.
Does that help? I thought that would get me drunk
it
faster.
does.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Having a high metabolism makes it harder for you to get drunk because your body's metabolizing it.
Yeah.
And like you're drunk for a shorter period of time too.
Burn it off quicker. Yeah.
I'm not happy at all.
Speaking of,
you ever watched Flash?
Speaking of the drinking,
a little bit.
Rosa, you said that you rarely ever drink more than a beer at the beginning or something like that. What is your drink of choice?
Besides like a beer or like
Well, okay,
what?
If you go to the bar,
what's the spectrum?
Okay, Jesus Christ! Like, do you want a mixed drink? Do you want just shots, or do you want a beer? What do you?
What are
you going in there going? I want this. Like what?
I'd take any sort of brown cola and rum, spiced rum. I prefer Dr. Pepper, but if they don't have Dr. Pepper, I'll take a Coke.
Dr. Pepper and rum, huh?
Oh yeah, spiced rum. It has to be spiced rum specifically.
Okay.
Dr. Pepper and spiced rum. My favorite, Sailor Jerry's. I used to keep a 2-liter when I was going through some shit. I used to keep a 2-liter of Diet Dr. Pepper and a fucking handle of Sailor Jerry's next to my desk.
Sailor Jerry's fun because the label has a sticker on it of a tattoo
pretty
flash.
lady.
Yeah. How about you, Chriselle?
This one. It's
Bullet bourbon.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. It's my new favorite. My wife keeps on getting it.
That's a decently smooth bourbon too. Like it's No, I've done the rum and coke thing for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah, I
Mount Gay
drink like a little fan.
rum because it's just smooth, and Coca-Cola because it's Coke. Like, what are you gonna do?
Like
But,
all types of rum, because I really like mojitos.
I don't
That
really
stuff
care for the
doesn't taste
spiced
good
rum,
with
that's the thing.
peppermint tea.
Like the coconut flavored rum and the spiced rum, I've never been a fan of that really.
Mhm.
So when I found out about Mount Gay being just the smooth Barbados rum that it is, I was like, well, hell, that's the one. Let's go there. You know. But as far as beer goes, like I prefer like a nut brown ale like Newcastle.
Yeah.
And as a go-to though, it's always just been Budweiser because everybody
It's cheap.
gets Budweiser.
Yeah. I like Shiner, which is a big beer in
Yeah.
Texas. And,
Shinerbach,
yeah. Have you ever tried that before?
I know of it. Yeah.
Okay. There's that one, and then there's also Ziegenbach, which is even less heard of. Then there's also Rar and Sons, which is like a small little Fort Worth brewery, and they make everything, which is really fun. And you can go to that place, and for $10 to get in, you can get full 4 cups of beer, and it's great. And yeah, it's a fun time.
I'm not big on beer. When I say I have a beer, I'm actually talking about a Red's like apple or strawberry cider. Because I don't like the smell or the taste of like actual beer.
That's why
I like
asked,
cider.
because I didn't think you seemed like a beer drinker.
No, I'm not. Please just give me a rum and coke. Please just, or if it's somewhere fancy, I'll take a mojito. If you have a berry mojito, even better.
Somebody in the chat is asking if we've tried Guinness. I have tried Guinness. It's a lot heavier. It's thicker. Like it's like eating a meal out of a can. I'm not really a fan of it as much. Yeah.
I don't
prefer
like
to
that
keep bagels on plates.
smell. People are like, it smells hopsy, and I'm over here like.
Oh yeah, no, that's the ones when you get into like the IPAs and stuff. My brother was a huge like India Pale Ale like IPA person. Like he was all about it, and he would go for like the double IPA and stuff like that. So it was just super hoppy smelling and tasting, and it was, God, terrible.
There's only so much enjoyment I can get out of that before I just take a sip, and it's like, yeah, I'm good for the rest of my life on that.
We went on a tour of like the Budweiser factory because another set of friends of ours wanted to go. So it was me, my husband, and then our friends. And like it was cool to look at everything, but then they took us into like one of the rooms, and it just smelled like beer. And I was like, I need to go to the bathroom. Where's the bathroom? I'll meet you guys back at the lobby.
One of my buddies actually had his wedding reception at the Rar and Sons brewery in Fort Worth, and it was a pretty fun time. We just hung out there, and there was no drink limit, and we left our cars there that night.
Understandable.
And it was a fun time, and I don't remember the rest of the evening. And yeah, I don't know. Whenever there's not a drink limit, you just feel like you are missing out if you don't remember things. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, like not a huge drink. I mean, every now and then I'll get white girl wasted, but
that's about where I was that night. It's fun.
The only time I get white girl wasted though is if someone challenges me, like it's a pride thing. Like if they're like, you can't drink that much, I'm like, let's fucking do it.
Let's find out.
That'll show them.
Yeah.
I don't get blackout drunk. Like I don't black out.
I was laughing earlier about Kano trying to figure out the metabolism stuff. And you know how we've been talking about Acorn's spelling forever? Well, I only saw his message asking, what the fuck is hyperstyrostism? And I...
Hyperthyroidism?
I searched his, not seeing Ano's message. And Google figured it out that it was hypothyroidism.
Good job, Google.
Hypostyrostism. Good job.
One of my
Acorn.
buddies actually had that. in high school, and like he was kind of like a big heavy set guy, and he dropped down to like 100 pounds
Damn.
at like 6 feet tall, and it was bad. And yeah, they had, I think the way they treat that nowadays is like they irradiate your thyroid, and it's not a fun time. So
Oh.
yeah, but yeah, he's doing
not
okay.
fun.
He actually is still in the army, I believe, and yeah, he had a long and complicated, lengthy process to actually get in the army because underlying medical conditions are not an easy thing to get around. But yeah, he's doing
Are
okay
they?
now.
The army let me join after I had been discharged from the Marines for having asthma and being psycho. And the army was like, yeah, no, we'll give you a gun. Can you
Fair
run?
point.
Let's fucking do this. I'm like, yeah, I can run if I have my inhaler. They're like, here's your inhaler. Get on the track.
Run.
Yeah.
So when they're like pre-existing conditions, I am a batshit psycho. All right.
believe you.
And the army was like, cool beans.
And not only
Yeah.
are you very short in your chair, you're laying in your chair.
I
You're-
think
If you slide lower at all, you'll just be off camera in a moment.
And it always gives me a would you rather though, because it's like, it's honestly kind of the predicament. It's like, would you rather be burning through your food and just kind of hungry all the time, but you never gain weight, or, you know, have a slower metabolism and not have to eat as much, but have to watch what you eat?
the first one, absolutely.
like
Yeah, that
it.
sounds amazing. I've been actually running a lot more, and because I'm
Ooh.
trying to lose weight currently,
Can we get
and
a?
it's not really progressing, and yeah, it's
Not
just
progressing.
I'm
How
gonna
long is
have
it
a
right?
doctor cut all mine off here soon.
Because
It's more
yeah.
about fixing the anyways.
that's what I would say, but it I don't know. On the extremes, it's bad. You know, like
Yeah.
waking up in the middle of the night and not being able to go back to bed because it's empty and it hurts, and that's not fun. But
No.
oh, I'm sitting here.
Eat rice.
Eat more rice. Now that's the thing
No,
is this.
for real.
The fun thing is my antidote here is just eat more, which, well, I enjoy doing that anyway. So
I mean, you
Love
tend
food.
to eat a lot of empty foods.
I do.
So like you specifically like the song said, red beans and rice didn't miss her. Like you need to eat like a lot of rice and beans. You need to eat
That's
really carb heavy
actually-
stuff.
Find
No,
yourself some
because-
peanut butter.
Beast
Yeah.
and I were just talking about, having spend very little money for a large amount of carb heavy food, essentially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you could, just make a giant.
I was telling
thing of
him that there was a point in my life where I essentially lived on beans and rice
Mhm.
because it was cheap.
I
But,
used to
yeah.
live off of
Cheaper than
egg
ramen.
noodles and cream of mushroom
Yeah.
when I was being bougie.
Mhm.
When I wasn't bougie, it was just straight up
Ramen.
egg or rice with a scrambled egg in it. Just one egg
Yeah.
every meal because I was poor.
how long you been
I mean,
running,
that's not a
Michelle?
bad meal though.
No. Thank God I'm Asian. Reading about everyone living off of like ramen and whatnot, like that's just pure sodium. And
Yeah.
my Asian butt was like, okay, some rice, scramble an egg, a little bit of soy sauce, and then like I was reading eat cheap and healthy on Reddit or whatever. It popped up on the front page.
Mhm.
And like that was recommended for people who are really, really poor because it gives you carbs and it gives you protein. And I was like, I did that on accident.
Yeah, if you have no idea where your next meal is coming from, if you have like $10, you can stretch that out for a little bit at least, just off of eggs and rice.
Mm-hmm.
What did you said, Beast? You asked Chriselle about running.
Well, you said you wasn't progressing. I was wondering how long you've been at it.
Honestly, about 2 weeks. So
Oh,
it's gonna take more time than that.
Yeah,
I
you
know. I
just
used to
got
be
started.
fast. Like I could run 2 miles in 11 minutes, and I was very proud of that. But yeah, now I'm slow and not fast at all. So I'd like to
Also-
get back to that point where
You're also
I can-
out of practice, a little
Yeah.
heavier, and older.
Yeah,
All of those things add up.
You kind of relaxed pretty hard, from what I can tell, after all that.
yeah. No, that was back when I was 22. I'm 27 now.
Oh, man, that
yeah,
was like 10
27
years
now.
ago.
It's like I used to be a monster.
So I would like to get to the point where I can at least run like half marathons again, which is something that I kind of enjoyed doing a little bit. Not a lot, because those aren't particularly fun. You're just moving. And yeah. I mean, I just want to get to the point where I can run away from scary things.
So I have a
sometimes.
funny
Is that
Or
a
run
thing
true
toward
thing?
for
scary things.
Shell
Take them out.
specifically. So I had called TRICARE, the military insurance, to well, it's Deers. I had to call Deers. Anyways.
Yeah.
To switch our address since we had just moved. And so
Oh,
I'm on
boy.
the phone with them. And the lady, like, it's taking a minute, her computer's slow. And I'm like, okay, whatever, because I called her through my computer. You're on my headset. Like, I'm multitasking. That's fine. And then she gets this, like, tone. And she was like, can I inquire your status? And I was like, oh, like my husband's? And she was like, no, you. And I already knew what was coming because this has happened before, but it's been a few years. And I was like, oh, I'm just a spouse. And she was like, and I was like, it fucking says I'm active duty, doesn't it? Because this isn't the first time it's happened. Like, their systems have been fucked up. And I started cackling, and this poor woman was so confused because I'm wheezy cackling because this is just so funny to me at this point. It is 2021. I got out in 2009.
I swear, like
been
every
12
single one of
years.
these like bases or posts or whatever has like a bunch of like faxed documents that they handed out to everyone when they joined the army, and then they didn't bother to check them at all, and they rely entirely on their soldiers that are currently asking them questions to make any little change to that.
So
because
the thing is that this has happened before. The first time it happened was in 2011. So still recent enough to that it was like kind of made sense. I went to go sign my friend on the base. We lived in 29 Palms and their security was higher.
Yeah.
And the Marine sitting in front of me looking like me up, like looked at her computer, looked at me, looked at her computer, looked at me. At that point, I had like long, bright red hair, like fire engine red hair. So she's like looking at her computer, looking at me, and she's like, and she goes, I'm gonna guess that you're not active duty. And I was like,
good guess.
yeah, no. And she was like, so you might want to go to Deers and get that figured out because this says that you're Lance Corporal active duty. And I was like, well, then someone owes me some checks because
and the thing is, like, they have no way or initiative, if they did have a way, to do it themselves and just be like, hey, this person isn't that anymore. And that, like, I don't know, that seems to affect everyone. I've heard stories about people like owing the army a penny or 2 pennies, and then they mail them 2 pennies, and then it's like, oh, hey, you guys, we gave you too much money, or you have too much of our money, or whatever. And it's a whole complicated thing. As for me, they messed up my birth date, and it was like a day or 2 off ever since I was in the army. And so on every single form, like, there was always a problem, and that keeps you from like logging into your military email and stuff. And like every single time you do something with the army and have to verify information, there's always a problem.
They tried to fight me on my middle name. I remember in intake. So my middle name was the letter E, just E. And because my parents are idiots, and when they filled out my birth certificate, instead of writing in what they wanted my middle name to be, which was Elizabeth,
they did the initial.
They did the initial. So my middle name was the letter E. And so going through intake and filling that out, they were like, no, not the initial, the name. And I was like, I didn't make that mistake. My parents did. Like, this is my middle name. And they're like, no,
Yeah.
it's not. And so I was like,
Yeah.
pull out my
actually is.
wallet, pull out my social security card.
Driver's license, birth
Yeah.
certificate.
They were
there's
like,
no name behind that E. It's just an E.
right.
Yeah.
They had to take me to like their warrant
Um,
officer, and they were like, holy shit, your middle name is the letter
Just
E.
because
And I was
some
like,
dumbass
The-
staff sergeant can't understand that he might be wrong about something.
the whole thing though with bureaucracy of people getting paperwork wrong in big government things like the military and stuff, it goes to the other end of the spectrum as well. It happens in the prison system. It happened
Yeah.
to me
Oh no.
when I got logged into the prison system so many years ago when I got locked up. They had me listed not as Matthew Burgess but as Metthew, Methew.
Oh no.
Nargis. Nargis. And
I'm not gonna fix that autocorrect.
while I had 3 different sentencings that were all run concurrent and consecutive, one of
Yeah.
them was a youthful offender sentence, and the other 2 were straight time sentences, adult sentences essentially. They did not put me on the youthful offender sentence, which was the one that I was supposed to be on. They put me on the straight time sentence, so I went to the wrong prison with the
jeez.
wrong name.
oh my
That's
God.
not losing your luggage in an airport. That's
No,
Yeah.
that's way
yeah.
worse.
That's losing a person.
And like,
Well,
I
I
don't
wasn't lost at
imagine
all. I knew
being in
exactly
that
where I was.
situation would
The
lend
problem,
itself
the problem
to.
is when you're standing there looking a person in the face going, that's not my name. And they're going, yeah, it is. No, you're not getting it. That's not my name. You need to fix that because that's not my name. And they're
Right.
like, no, that's your
God.
name. No, it's not my name.
And the
That's the
dumb thing
stupidest
is, you have
argument you have to
absolutely
have.
no bargaining power in that
Yeah,
situation.
I
Like,
can't
you're not
be like,
like,
well, let me go get my ID.
yeah,
No, they
Right.
issued me the ID that says Metthew Nargis on it.
yeah. And you can't really just be like, well, I'm going to take my business someplace else.
Like, what are you gonna do? Turn around and contact the press? I bet he just goes,
Yeah.
"No, well, it is now.
Yeah.
You got a new name."
Simple. Yeah. No, it was just
Ah,
so
jeez.
yeah. If you think the bureaucracy is only screwed up in those things, it's also on the other
No,
end of
it's
the spectrum
everywhere.
too.
And like, I feel like they would fix a lot of their problems if they just updated their fucking software once in a while.
Bruh, so.
Oh god,
for
they
real.
still have like Windows XP on all their computers at my
That's what
unit.
It's not okay, and that's not a bad operating system.
It's not.
honestly.
It's not, but
But-
everything
I told
else
her that it
runs
must
on
be
other
running-
things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But like,
When it tries to communicate with newer stuff, it's like I don't know. What
it
means
hates
sometimes.
that. Yeah. And like, when I was actually doing like any sort of data entry, what I would always have to do is I would just use my own computer on Windows 10. It's this one right here.
Transfer the document into some
Yeah.
shitty
I would-
program.
Yeah, and what I would do is just use Google Drive because that was most
Yep.
convenient for data entry at the time for me. And I would just get it into a little CD burner, load all the information onto that, and then export
Hand
it
it
to
to
that
somebody.
format.
Yeah.
And then I would have to take that CD and then use that on the government computers that they used. And
Yeah.
like, it wasn't like the stuff wasn't available. It's just our commander and stuff specifically was fairly cheap. And yeah, it's not a fun time.
No, the active duty thing was so messed up that for like a year at my doctor's appointments, they would come out. And so my last name used to be West. That was my maiden name. They'd come out and they'd go, Lance Corporal West? Lance Corporal West? And like I'd go to get up and they'd like look at me weird because I had funky hair, like
Yeah.
always. And they'd like look at their chart and they'd look at me and you could tell they're like doing the math. They're like, all right, it's a female of this age, but that's not Lance Corp. That.
Yeah.
hmm
And I'd be
With
like,
red
yeah,
hair.
that's me. And they're like,
I know
can
it's
I see
confusing.
your ID? You sure can. It's not my fault. Your system's fucked up. I've tried to fix it so many times.
Yeah.
Eesh.
Now, there was a conversation that happened yesterday having to do with the whole being on television thing for a while. and
Yeah.
having been dressed up for military and stuff like that, like put on the uniforms to portray military on television and stuff. And it's funny though because they were very adamant about making sure that your uniform looked proper, which I totally understand and I respect that, and I think it's great that they wanted to portray our military as well as they could and everything. The problem they had was they had extras who are not actors.
Yeah.
And they didn't seem to understand the concept of, hey, that's a uniform, not your cool shirt for you to pop the collar on and shit like that. So,
like that is the one like defining like factor of any sort of media or anything that just like instantly gives away that they don't have a very like
firm grasp,
like locked down version of some sort of like military specialist on like what the uniform is.
Yeah, it was also the beret. More often than not,
God, the fucking beret.
The wardrobe people would put a beret on you and adjust it and make it look right and like grab you by your head and go, okay, here we go. That kind of thing. And then within 10 minutes, no doubt in my mind, within 10 minutes, some idiot over there has taken it off and been like, oh, I'll fix it. And it's just, no.
Like the thing is, you have to like make the beret like that yourself. Like you literally just stand in the shower with your beret
but
on,
don't forget,
like
you have to shave
water.
it first. You have to shave it and
shaving
then
it with an actual razor to clean it up and everything.
Yeah, you got to do all that stuff all yourself.
Send it out. Yep.
So I think I still have mine somewhere, and it's still in its like nice and folded version of itself. And
but Jesus, the amount of people who would go in and get the thing put on them, and then within minutes take it off and fuck it all up, and then put it back on their head, and it would look like a freaking mushroom or something. It's like, what are you doing?
A harder one to notice as well is like the order of the ribbons. Those are an easy one to get out of order.
Oh, did you ever see the picture of me in dress blues with all the?
I would love to see that picture. Honestly, let's see it.
Here, let me find it real quick. Documents, pictures, people. There.
Nice one, Sig.
Here.
Great job.
Thanks. As I choked in.
Dang! Look at you, Mister.
If you look at
11
at those
Bravo.
ribbons on that, there are events in those ribbons that happened before I was born.
That doesn't make sense, but you do look good.
None of it makes sense. Look good for television.
Man, you do look incredibly sharp, though.
You look young.
Yeah,
I know.
That was 10 years ago. That was probably 15 years, maybe.
That's awesome.
At least 10 years ago. But yeah, I made that shit look good. But the problem with that though is a lot of that shit that's on my chest there happened before I was capable of being in the military even.
Yeah, nobody would be able to tell. The resolution would be they're just colors from not that far away.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they weren't focusing on me ever or anything like that.
You say no one can tell, but then there's people that
There's
are like
one guy.
I can move frame by frame and criticize at all points.
That's all right. That one voice won't be too loud.
No, it won't. And most of that's entirely like not worth even mentioning. Because I mean, like his uniform right there, like that's perfectly fine. And like that's
when they made me a cop that one day, that was fun.
Oh, you look like a little rookie cop there.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm missing all this.
Fresh out of the fucking
food in my face.
Yeah.
Fresh out of the fucking academy.
Look at that baby Sig.
No, there's a closer up picture of that if you want to. The name on the name badge is Hergot, T. Hergot. That's actually the guy who owns all of the military paraphernalia that we use on the show. That's his name. He's the prop master. He owns all the M4 rifles and crap that we carry around and the Humvees we drive around in and stuff on the show.
That's cool.
Ben said, "Arrest me, Daddy, please."
But yeah, that's the day they made me a Columbia County Metro police officer.
Yeah. I forget which Star Wars thing it was, but a lot of the I forget which series it was on, whether it was like on the main series or like the Mandalorian or whatever, but a lot of the people that have like props and like cosplays of like the rebel uniforms and then the actual Imperial uniform, all that stuff, I forget what it's called even, but like a lot of those people had like accurate costumes and accurate props that are like accurate to actual movies and shows and stuff. So they were like called on to help out as extras within the either movie or I don't know exactly what it was.
What are they called?
But
Like the 501st or whatever?
yeah,
The-
I think so actually.
The stormtrooper army
Yeah.
that exists out there in the world
Yeah.
that are all
And-
trying to get as close as they can to movie and show accurate, props and uniforms and
Yeah.
everything.
I have
And like there's some sort of
that.
registration with it too, which
Yes.
is incredibly cool.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's like they're hardcore, dude.
Mhm.
You know the material that they make like your car bumper out of, that hard plastic that your bumper
Yeah.
is made out of on a
That's
car.
plastic?
They make
Oh yeah.
stormtrooper
yeah.
uniforms and stuff out of that kind of stuff.
That's
I
cool.
don't remember what kind of plastic it is. Like it's like ABS plastic or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, it's some hardcore shit. Basically like car bumper material.
I haven't watched Star Wars in a
big
while.
thing that's going on in the 3D printing community is people have been 3D printing Mandalorian armor.
Mhm.
The Mandalorian armor of whatever his name is, Jin something. And yeah, so they've been using the same printer that I have. So at some point in time, I might feel like making my own little Beskar PLA armor, which would be
Let me
pretty
know
fun.
when you start that. I'm gonna have you make it for me out of the color changing one.
Oh yeah,
The
that'd be
one that
fun.
goes from purple to pink.
Yeah,
So like
even
how
like
fucking
rainbow would
cool
be pretty
that
cool.
be? They don't have rainbow color changing. Oh, you mean just like okay.
Yeah, just in general, that would be awesome. But yeah, and I
watched
mean, I
the-
think you can even fit the full helmet on this printer. You just have to like turn it sideways and angle it perfectly and stuff.
See, the thing about that then is you have to like figure out how to size it for you. Because if you're
Yeah.
gonna print it, it needs to be for you. Because obviously printing it for Chriselle is not gonna be the same size it would be for Rosa.
Nope.
Fair point. And I mean, like that would be like a 6-day long test, which that's a lot of time. And I mean, you can speed it up and stuff. But
Mhm.
So you can make all kinds of adjustments on Thingiverse after you've taken the proper measurements for a helmet to fit you properly.
yeah, fair point. That makes sense.
Sig
Actually,
flipped it. Or Ben's
I have a
flipped
really
it.
small head.
Ben's is like, yes, Rosie, you have a very large head.
I actually have a small head. I'm sorry
He knows
What's
to
that.
inform you.
What size patrol cap is it?
He was being silly.
Is it a 5 or a 6?
It depends if I have my hair braided or not.
I think mine was like a 16 or a 15
A hat?
hat.
No,
yeah.
that's your collar size is 16 or 17, something like that.
I was
Hat
watching a
size is
video
like
on 3D
I
printed
wear like a 7 1/4.
dart weapons.
You're
So,
right.
like,
Okay, yeah, you're
Nerf
right.
guns.
Let me check though. I want to find that out.
Oh, and he's gone. Gotta go find out. I was watching a YouTube video on like Nerf weapons being obsolete in the dart world. I don't even know what they call it anymore. It's not airsoft, but they've been 3D printing those
Oh,
dart propelled
yeah,
weapons. I don't even know what you call them anymore.
yeah,
And
spring propelled dart weapons.
pretty interesting. I mean, you can get mag sizes, custom weapons, all sorts of different gear. I was like, wow, why am I watching this? But it was it was a whole thing you can get into.
Somebody posted something in the Discord not that long ago about that, and then
Yeah, I
somebody
think I
else
clicked the
replied about how even if you do 3D print the thing, you still have to source the O-rings and the springs and the internal workings of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to buy parts for it to make it work properly.
It is 7.5.
Yeah,
Wow.
so just slightly
My
larger than
head
than my
slightly
size.
bigger than yours.
Yeah.
Good to know. I'm so glad we could clear that up.
Yeah, I did
Well,
want to know. It was gonna bother me for the rest of
big
You know what,
difference
Pete?
between a
Just
size
because it's
7 and a
something
size
you're not
17.
interested in, there's 3 out of 4. You've been overruled.
Everybody watching, who cared the exact difference in their head sizes? I'm interested. I want to.
Well, it wasn't about our head size. It was about him saying 17
even-
and then going, wait.
No, it doesn't fit anymore.
I want to get a
It's because
me
you
or
have all
not me.
this hair.
It's your
That's
hair.
why I
Yeah,
was saying.
well- Good point.
That's why I was saying when he was asking what size I wore, I said with or without braids, because if I had my hair in the
Mhm.
like French braid into a bun, I needed like a different size cover. And if I just had it into a normal bun, it was a smaller cover.
Yeah, makes sense.
I learned a long time ago what all my measurements were, like for hat size, chest size, waist size,
Yeah,
inseam, like all that crap, because you had to know that to tell the wardrobe people for the for the military uniforms they provided and crap like that. And I after the first like season of doing the TV show, I just had my own uniforms because my brother was in the military, and I just took his. He's like an inch shorter than me, so everything fit.
You are such a fucking.
And it all had
brother.
my name on it and shit. And I was like, done.
pretty convenient.
Show up wearing it already, and they're like, oh, we don't have to dress you. Okay, cool.
Yay, less time. That works out.
Yeah.
Ben just sees me cracking up and knows exactly what I'm going on about. Like, yo, Benz, what's your epic young meat spin? Okay, thanks, bro.
Oh, there's been a whole to-do in the Discord where people have been wondering about his special role and why it's named what it is.
I don't even remember. I looked at it yesterday.
What? I haven't been. Oh, oh God.
Because Benz is a man of many accolades, you know? Semen Demon, Young Meat Spin, the Areola Master, the Keybind God Mod, the...
Never heard the Areola Master. What? God become one of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, he learned what that word was one day and then just got all about it for a stream.
One day in his adult life, he learned what that word was.
And now he's the Areola Master. The young...
Jesus. I don't make the rules, I just enforce them. Okay, Benz.
God damn it. It's a running... We're just adding to his list of accolades. So those are the ones we got now, you know, the Keybind God Mod. Those two have to be put together. You can't say them separate.
Oh, speaking of keybinds, macros for this keyboard that I got from you. It has the M keys along that far left edge next to the caps lock key and stuff.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, that'll be handy. I'll be able to use those to do macros for certain things. Can't think of one.
I got Discord
know
mute,
macros.
Discord mute and deafen. That was it.
I have a Stream Deck.
No, I
All the
prefer it
stuff
like
I
on the
want to
keyboard,
macro
right
is on the
next to
Stream
my-
Deck, and it's right there.
No, but I don't do
You
that. I use
might
my
be able to
pinky.
use it for just like Photoshop hotkeys.
I was looking for hotkeys for Photoshop and couldn't come up with any.
Wow.
Maybe
Yeah.
like 1 through 9 to cycle through items on your Minecraft menu.
Yeah, like
I actually
know.
can do that with my mouse. It's got a little number pad on the
Yeah.
side, which I only really use my little macro for that, for quickly clicking and quickly right clicking.
Same. I used to hate that mouse
That's
because
legitimately all I have.
those buttons were a selling point when I was buying, but then I became unable to grip my mouse because my thumb couldn't go anywhere of use. Every time I wanted to squeeze it tight, I'd be clicking two buttons, and that became difficult for me. The right
Why do
side
you
of
need
that,
to squeeze your mouse?
you gotta pick
To
it up,
push
move it
the
around,
buttons?
get it going. Get it
Or,
running
oh
speed.
yeah.
You don't get good at clicking on heads without moving the mouse around there, sweetie.
I'm glad that somebody's on my side with this for once.
My mouse around right now, and I'm not squeezing it.
I kind of hold mine kind of like this in a way, where it's like in between these fingers. So then I got plenty of room to
Click,
push
click,
the little
and then-
number pad buttons.
I'm
Yeah,
not
but he's talking
clicking
about
any buttons right now.
Where the tip of your thumb is, there's a whole, bunch of buttons.
Oh, do we have the
And
same
the
mouse,
way-
Rosa?
The way he grips it,
Is it the Corsair?
his thumb pushes buttons.
I don't know.
Claw.
Mine's tech smart.
And the thing
I
is,
don't know.
I do have a Razer Naga Chroma in the garage. I used to use it, and I just couldn't. There was no way for me to get that thing off the mat consistently without dropping it all the damn time. And yeah.
Rose's hand is so tiny on that mouse.
Now the other thing is like those numbers.
Ooh.
You just yelled
the
and
numbers,
it completely muted you.
I tried to use that for Minecraft and then just never did. For a little bit, but that wasn't necessary. I just scroll. Whatever.
Yeah.
Your noise gate did not like you yelling at us.
Pens, look at those tiny ass hands trying to grip a mouse.
That's how I broke my last mic.
You know, actually,
Yelling at us?
Yeah.
I hold the Model O minus with claw. It'd probably be normal for her. Her hand would probably rest along the back.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what happens. My hand is completely rested right here.
This thing is
Look.
so... I forgot how light this mouse was, but moving it over...
There's no space.
Moving it over to my bed, it's just kind of like a... I go to move it around and be like, oh shit, there's like nothing here. Compared to like a G502, which is not something I would have ever considered heavy until I switched mice and was like, wow, I had no idea.
Mine has little weights that you can put in it, so you can change how much it weighs.
502 has those.
It's pretty cool.
That you can do to yourself, like the put coins in the phone receiver and then take them all out and then...
You have yours in?
Yeah.
Little weights like those.
Oh.
Something, yeah, it's something like that. It's got like this little thingy where you can do that.
When I first got it, I put all the weights in it to see what it weighed, how it felt, and I was like, "Oh, I can deal with that. It's fine. I'll leave them all in there." And Beast is over here going, "How? What is wrong with you?"
What I did was I put in all the weights in mine at first for training purposes, and then when I was about to go into battle, I took all of them out.
Go Super Saiyan.
It was super fast.
That's like ramping up the DPI.
From one side of the screen to the other side so fast.
No,
I don't know. I got
like
conditioned.
I like having at least some of the weights in it because it gives it some substance. I
feel like Call of Duty and everything. I don't know. It was like a. I got formed into this I don't know this ideology, this mindset of like absolute precision. So something like weights, I'm like, why the fuck would you purposely slow yourself down? Like, that's just not how I'm wired. Because none of you are FPS players, you don't get it. But you know, fast, quick, accurate.
I mean, you need to shoot a lot of skeletons with a bow. I don't know what you're talking about.
Not even remotely the same. So far. It's so...
Hey, skeletons with a sniper rifle in Sea of Thieves.
Fair point.
Not
and
at
that's
all.
First person.
Sure.
That's first person.
Yep. You got me there.
You should see my crazy flicks with a diamond axe in Minecraft. Just saying.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Now I understand that this is like a really like an ultralight mouse. Like this is absolutely useless if you're not competing against other humans in real time. Like there's no other purpose for it. It's absolutely overkill for anything else. But
it looks pretty.
It is. Even my mom came in yesterday and she was like, "Ooh, wow, that's you know, it's light."
My wife's mouse is pretty cool actually.
Let's see if I can grab that. The other Model O is nice too, but that one's tucked away.
Most of my mouse movement is with wrist.
Oh,
but that's largely because I existed for so long with a thumb ball rather than an actual mouse.
Yeah.
It's cute.
You're right. Yeah.
Oh.
It's like a little pink transformer.
Mm-hmm. That's giving me some Alita Battle Angel vibes right there.
Yeah. Which, by the way, they need to make the sequel to that movie. I love that movie so much.
On it? I don't remember.
I feel like they just do that to keep all the Alita Battle Angel fans in check.
It's a 3-parter, and he was 100% on board. But I don't. Let me look it up. Sequel update. Wow, these movies. Every time I look them up, there's like an article from a day ago.
Oh, jeez.
Just shy of 2 years since its debut. It's now fair to call it a cult movie. Okay, you're not giving me information I care about. The prospect of blah 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 depends on. Okay, so they're just talking about the plot. What's holding Alita 2 back?
It's like telling a personal story and a recipe. It doesn't really have any substance.
As stated above, although it came with a high price tag, it performed well enough to at least inspire consideration. But the other thing is the Disney brand. They've been... Yeah. It seems like it's... And with the first
I
movie
think-
being the kind of PG that's just barely missing an R rating, I didn't see that. That was, well,
No, it was not even close to that.
Not
And on
really.
top of that as well, like I think there was an original like anime show or something about it, and then that was based off of the like graphic novels, which I think you can still get on Amazon, based off of Alita Battle Angel, which was pretty good. And I'm planning on getting them,
So
but
according to this
I don't
article on
know.
Screen
It needs to be
Rant,
live action.
Oh,
Disney
speaking
hasn't
of
even greenlit the sequel. So
That's
speaking of
unfortunate.
I mean-
things that Chriselle gets off the internet. Thank you again for Christmas.
Oh yeah,
oh,
I played through the
for
room and the room 2 just the other day.
you did. I'm so glad you enjoyed that.
Thank you.
all right, new topic.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. I did. Yeah,
That's
Oh,
what
it's
that
okay.
just had to be said now.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, no, anyway, no, because I really liked Alita Battle Angel. That was
I did too.
that was one of
Yeah.
my, I don't know. I was gonna say top 10 movies, but that's a revolving door of movies. But it
Mhm.
was good. I really enjoyed it. I rewatched it in the recent months, and so the fact that they haven't even greenlit the second one tells me that they probably haven't even been working on it, and that's rough.
Current state of affairs in the world today. I would imagine
No, but
that's
2
super
years
difficult
ago
Yeah.
this
anyway.
movie came out. Like, they've just not been focused on it. It didn't perform well enough to really... What did it earn? Because I don't remember it being very well... I remember hearing about it and then watching it and thinking, how did I never... Yeah, see, the budget was 170 million and it made 405 million. So, like...
You know what it kind of reminded me of is like a better version of John Carter of Mars.
Never heard of it.
Do you guys remember that movie?
Yeah, John Carter. Yeah. I remember
Yeah,
that.
it reminded me like of a better version of that with like the kind of giant, like massive world building type thing. And
John Carter
I
felt
don't know.
John Carter felt like a different kind of version of
Jupiter Ascending,
what's your
Never heard of
favorite
it.
movie there, Beast, with the blue people?
Oh, come on.
Avatar.
I was gonna
Yeah.
Krishna, I wasn't gonna help him. I couldn't do it. I was like, no, you are not gonna forget Avatar right now. I'm not helping you.
The
Not
Smurfs
helping.
movie.
Yeah.
No, but it felt like they were trying to create a world like Avatar, like with
Yeah.
all the different peoples and everything like that, and didn't quite hit the same mark that Avatar did. Avatar
it's
just did it
just-
so much better.
Such a shame that like these giant, massive, epic series are just like wasted because of like the production room, them just getting their hands too involved into the story of it, and it just kind of falling apart. It happens fairly frequently, which is annoying. But
You know, I fall apart fairly frequently as well, so I can't blame them.
yeah, but I mean, there's a whole
Yeah,
bunch
but
of
you're like a
disappointed
weeble
fans
wobble. You
like
just keep
myself.
popping back
Yeah.
up. You're like that damn blow up clown I had when I was a kid. You'd punch it, knock it down, and it'd just go stand right back up.
Oh, facing.
Like, where's this going?
No, but yes, to go back to the Christmas thing. Thank you again for the Steam
Yeah.
games.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad you liked it. Have
I
you
finally
played?
got
very
on my
much enjoyed them.
computer. I haven't played it yet. No.
Okay.
I
That's
played
okay.
through the room one in like 4.5 hours the
Yeah,
other night, and then the next night played through all of the room 2.
that's awesome.
Both
I'm
of them,
glad you
like,
enjoyed it.
both of them on Discord, like streaming it so other people could watch, and had random people pop in and hang out with
Aw.
me for a while and stuff. So yeah.
That's fun.
But
So
yeah,
I got
that's
something
what I've
else
been-
here on Avatar 2. Because I'm back just to pick that topic back
Avatar
up.
2.
Yeah,
I didn't know they were gonna do a second
we're
one.
gonna do 5.
Avatars?
Yes, sir. That's
I'm
So
in.
is-
Let's go.
how we've talked about.
gotta
this.
bring
how
this
How
up.
do you
I
not?
don't recall having ever talked about there being more than one Avatar.
Shit, this has been a
Nope.
podcast topic more than once. Well,
Not to my memory.
surprise! Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5 have been slated for like 10 years. And that's kind of the joke, because Avatar 2 just keeps getting bumped further back. It was supposed to be 2020, well, 2018 really, but then, and then July pushed them back to December of 2022, which, now the thing is, I'm reading here that Cameron revealed that they were 100% complete on Avatar 2, which to me, it's like, okay,
Sure,
I
buddy.
get it.
Okay.
I get it. Long ass marketing campaign. I know how this shit works, but like, you're done with the movie, and we're still gonna wait 2 years to see it. What the fuck? Like, and they said they're 95% finished on Avatar 3, and I think that's what's taken him so damn long. Is he's been working on like what it seems to be 4 movies at the same time for this whole
in
time.
college, I've had a lot of projects that I would tell the professors I was 95% done with, and I hadn't even like looked at what the project was about.
Right.
So, and I mean, like 2 years is a good far enough away distance that like you can probably drag that out for another 2 years once you reach your 2-year deadline. And I don't know. I think it's kind of, I don't know. I'm feeling like it's in the same vein as like Game of Thrones, the next book for that being released.
It's totally, it's coming, guys. It's coming.
Yeah. I
This is
promise
so
it'll be
confusing.
there.
COVID hit us like it hit everybody. We lost about 4.5 months of production. As a result, we rolled around 1 more full year for a release. Like, what, you lost 4.5, so you need a year? Okay. what was the other 8 months for? Editing?
When you get the chance, you should watch the Gus Johnson video I linked. It's kind of addresses this specifically.
But this is the thing, is he says, so where we are right now, we're down in New Zealand shooting. We're shooting the remainder of the live action. So that's the thing, is like, even though I hear what you're saying, he could just be BSing, they're doing something. I mean, things are happening. They are working on the movie, and Avatar 2 and 3 are nearly done. I have seen this more than once. I'll link it in chat for those curious.
I understand what you're saying, though, about him working on a group of movies all at the same time, and it makes sense for him to do so that he has all the actors available.
True.
To span across all 4 movies.
Sure. Yeah. Get the recording live action done before your actors are in their 50s and 60s.
Correct.
And if you're gonna make the people, because Avatar, guys, was 2009, I believe.
Don't do that, Chriselle.
So it's been 12 years.
Sorry.
What happened?
He wrote stupid in the chat.
Yeah, Sigrub Tam is short for Sigrub Tamantha.
Don't confuse people. They're already obviously
I'm
confused by
sorry.
the 6-hour thing.
I didn't mean to. I'm just meaning.
Can we show guns on YouTube? Is that allowed? So that I can be like, no, this is 6 hour.
Probably not a good idea for you to go pulling out guns on the podcast.
Well, anyway,
these guns.
I was gonna say, if you're gonna make us wait over 10 years for the follow-up, then at least if he's got 2 and 3 done, you can at least release some a little more. I don't know.
Should really release them like the same day, so we don't have to go to the movie theater more than once.
I've remained hyped because Avatar 1 was such a feat for 2009 of all years. I mean, like, what they accomplished with that technology, I have high hopes.
Still holds up. I think I watched it this year.
I watched
recently.
It in the recent years, and it's like it's
good. Since it was in theaters, and I don't remember most of it because I watched it when I was with an ex, and so I've just kind of blacked out that entire period of my life.
I'm careful watching shows and movies with people that I'm like close to emotionally, because it's like, you're not gonna ruin this show for me, are you? You know, like, I don't. Yeah.
Well,
they made us go see it in 3D, and it made me throw up.
Speaking of being close to somebody and seeing or hearing something that made you think of them, I was at work the other day, and Holding Out for a Hero came on Pandora, and that was one of my brother's like get up and go jams. Like, he really enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
And it kind of hit like a truck while I was at work, and I was like, oh, fuck.
Oh, I have feelings. No feelings.
Don't do that right now. I have work to do.
Pressed.
It's a very good song, and Jose, the guy I was working with, looks over at me and goes, "The fuck is your problem, dude?" You know?
Yeah.
And I had to explain to him that my brother, who passed away, really enjoyed the song, blah blah blah. You know, and it meant more to me than it probably should kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was a weird situation, but he was just like, oh man, that sucks,
Yeah.
And he's like, it's a good tune though, and walked on to do his stuff, like what else he was doing. And I was like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It is. But it was just for a moment, like I compartmentalized and did what I had to do and everything.
Right.
But for a moment, it just kind of like was like, damn, that stings a lot, But
Damn.
yeah, it's a good song,
Oh.
holding out for a hero. No, what we were. I'm sorry, I derailed that.
Talking about Avatar. I don't know.
The Avatar thing, though, with him doing all the movies together at once, you get all the actors and everything. That stops the whole like having to hope that you might have the actors available for a future movie and stuff.
Yeah.
Where we got, and that kind of rolls into us having gotten very lucky to have the few actors we have available for Cobra Kai to come back from Karate Kid. It was surprising the handful of actors that are available and were willing to do it. It was just like, holy crap.
They got enough of the main cast to where they can do it, and they're not even cutting corners. That's amazing.
Yeah. Flat out brought back the actual Daniel. Like,
I need to get back into that at some point. I watched a couple episodes.
And because they've got the real actors, they are regularly showing clips from the original movies as though it was just backstory. Because it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it might as well be.
Yeah, that's exactly
They
what
don't
they're
have to
doing, and it's still
reshoot
great.
it. Yeah.
No. It's even better if they use the old movie, because you can be like,
Like that-
oh, I remember that part.
They even got the Karate Kid's actual mom, like the lady who played his mom in the
Karate
movie years
mom.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Her
it's surprising how
It's awesome.
many of the old characters they were able to bring back. And it was
I didn't even know there was a
it's
Karate
amazing.
Kid 2. I was not aware of
Yeah.
that one. I remember my dad
Oh,
just
we're-
being like, no, not that one. Just the first one.
Well, we're not
Apparently it's bad.
going to get into the whole Jaden Smith one because
Oh, that's not
I
even
kinda
doesn't
liked that one.
exist.
That was, I don't know, I thought it was fun.
if
I liked
they
it
were
as a
going to
kid, but I had no
call it
standards as a
something
kid.
not Karate Kid would have been fine.
He didn't even like do karate, was it?
Yeah,
He
if
wasn't-
it had not been called Karate Kid, the movie would have been fine. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, I remember as a kid I
wasn't
enjoyed
karate.
it, but I remember as a kid I enjoyed every movie I saw and had no standards.
That's
So
what it was. It's Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
no,
miss
that's
being a kid. I'd
exactly the
enjoy it.
same thing that what I experienced.
then again, I think back to watching those movies as a kid and have like 4 different screenshots of that movie, and that's my entire memory of it. So it's not like I was really consuming. I enjoyed what was on the screen. I have fond memories, but I don't remember a damn thing about the movie. I have no idea. And having learned
Just
about
so you know, that's how my entire memory works. Go on.
and having been periodically reminded of Jaden Smith's Twitter over the past 10 years, I don't really care to rewatch anything he was in. He just tweets weird shit and has for a very long time, and it's like that. Will Smith, you raised a unique pair.
Range individual.
I don't know about Willow, but Jaden, he tweets some odd stuff.
She whips her hair back and forth. It's fine.
That's the only thing I know. That's all I got.
I
I rewatched that in the recent months just to see what was up and was like, yup, nope, 2012 was a weird time. It was what
Why
year
was that
released?
popular?
2012?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
last time I paid attention to Jaden Smith, I noticed he was like doing this collaboration with this one group that I follow called Precious Plastics, and what they basically do is like it's like this homegrown kind of like open source style plastic recycling company where they go to various like underdeveloped third world areas and like help them set up their own version of plastic recycling infrastructure. And what he did was helped them out with some PR and stuff, and he commissioned them to build like this giant table made entirely from recycled plastic. So even though he's a little weird, he did get a cool table and
He
some more
does do a
influence
lot
for
of
them.
he
So that
does
was
do
kinda
a lot
nice.
of good shit. He's
Yeah.
he's a weird kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing saying he's not doing good things. It's just that
Yeah.
he is a weird individual. That's all.
Yeah.
Will and Jada Smith, they did a good job raising good kids. They're fucking weird, but that just shows you how comfortable they made their children.
December
Like,
25th.
oh, you're not hurting anyone. You're not doing bad. You wear your Batman costume to Kim and Kanye's wedding. It's all white. They wanted it all white. You do you, boo boo. I'm proud of you. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know that
I think
story.
it's fair to spite Kim and Kanye. That sounds like a fun time.
What about December?
No, it was just on December 25th. As Donna was saying it, the holidays remind me of how weird I am. And of course he's doing that thing that triggers me endlessly, is where he capitalizes the first letter of every word like it's a title. I don't know what it is, but as an English snob, it kills me every single time I see people do that. Every
I
time.
accidentally do that sometimes, but I always have to like backspace, fix, backspace.
I see it so often in like cringy Fortnite streams where every word of the description is capitalized. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
That is so much extra work. That's not even like an accident. How do you like look at how late these trolls are? Ben's was kind of quick, but Acorn had to put some effort into that. Like it's actually difficult to type that way. I'm like, how do you even develop that habit? Is everything you're saying just so important that it has to be capitalized?
What I
What is the
get really
point?
frustrated about is that when I go to type something and I do that kind of thing on accident and I go back to fix it, someone in the chat is going, "Oh, he's writing a whole paragraph." It's like, no, I'm just fixing the problems.
No, I'm kind of with you, Donna. Like, he just kind of exists in his little bubble. I mean, in the family I'm not going to pretend to know what his life is like, but I'm sure finances have never been a problem. So he's just kind of developed into this flower that he is. I don't know, this unique human being.
He's a very unique guy, and you know he does. That's not to say he hasn't done a lot of good things in the world, but
I don't know what
his acting was not one of the good things he did.
Has he
It's
done
not
good
one of the good
things? I mean, I really don't know.
He is very
altruistic,
Philanthropic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He just, when he's not shooting movies or like having to do some other famous person thing, all he does is go and do charity shit.
Smith.
And he wears weird shit while he does it, but he's doing.
But at the same time, that draws attention even more through paparazzi to the fact that he's at this event or that event because, oh, look, he's wearing a skirt now, you know, and people are like, oh, well, take pictures of it, put it in the tabloids. Where's he at?
And then
he's at
also
that event for that thing.
make whatever he says into the headline. So
we're talking about Jaden, not Will. I got lost in the.
We're talking about Will
Jaden.
Smith's son.
Yeah. Okay.
Jaden.
Yeah. I was like, because
yeah,
I didn't know any of that. Yeah. Well.
Yeah. No, he's done a lot of great works.
I'm curious about the wedding though.
Industry.
Batman to a wedding, because that's kind of a rude gesture.
Oh yeah. Google it. Google Jaden Smith Kanye's wedding. Like.
Can I get the backstory here?
No, there's no backstory. It's Kim and Kanye's wedding, and he wore an all-white Batman suit.
Oh my god, that's not even a regular Batman suit. Holy shit. Everybody's in suits, and
I don't want to mess up my YouTube recommendations by typing that. What is that?
I'm not gonna show this, but anybody can Google it. I'll link it. Here, I'll link the search term. You all can just experience for yourself.
That doesn't even look like a cool Batman suit.
Oh, of course, the YouTube link is just way too long. God damn it. Well, I'll put it in Discord. I don't care.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I'll show this one, sure. Because it's just.
Apparently, he actually went to prom dressed as Batman too.
He got a Batman outfit for Comic-Con and then just fucking wore it everywhere. And you know what? I respect that.
Go for it. Yeah. If you're gonna be weird,
Ben's is saying
go
don't
full
hate
out.
on the drip.
Yeah.
It doesn't garner respect from me. You got to earn that kind of thing. But that is just whatever. That's weird.
It's one of those you do you boo boo type things.
Right.
Yeah.
You're entitled to wear whatever you want. I'm entitled to think that's
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
unnecessary. And I call it weird because it's not like he's making a statement that I understand. I'm like, you're not progressing anything by doing that, but
Oh yeah. He
whatever.
did it because it was fun.
I guess.
The same reason I wear bright colored wigs and knee-high socks with everything that I wear.
It's just,
That's reasonable.
Weren't Kim and
he's just
Kanye divorcing? Did I hear that right?
That's just a rumor. It hasn't been confirmed yet.
Oh,
or maybe
God,
it
now I
has.
care
I
even
don't
less.
stay current.
I heard
I
it.
only
and
even
then
know
was just-
about it because it was rumored that Kanye was having an affair with Jeffree Star, and I was like, oh, really? Like,
I don't know about all that, and I don't want to have anything to do with spreading that rumor at all.
I was the tiniest bit interested, and now that it's I don't care. Whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, not even a little bit.
I am so far from digging into it. I'm only even bringing it up because we're kind of on the topic. Whatever. Okay. No, I just... It brings me back to high school and middle school, and everybody was so concerned about everybody else's lives. I'm like... It's like Kelly in The Office when Jim asked her what was up with her, and then she went on and on and on, and on about all these celebrities, and he's like, yeah, okay, but what about you? And she's like, I just told you. Like, you're just living vicariously.
None of that had anything to do with you. No.
Yeah.
No,
So-and-so had a baby, and so-and-so is dating, and so-and-so got married, and so-and-so did this. And it's like, okay, but what did you do? What? What do you mean, what did I do? I just told you. Because that's Kelly's life, you know? That's funny. It's funny that...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how some people are.
I know a couple people like that.
You would, because tabloids are hugely popular. I'm convinced that, like, 99% of the population is just all about this stuff, and it's just...
So I'm not all about it. I'm not obsessed with it. But you got to keep in mind, I get sick a lot.
Right.
And when I'm sick a lot, I'm not getting on my computer because I'm having trouble sitting up. So I'm laying in bed. I'm flipping through...
Oh, I imagine doctors'
everything.
offices, just magazines, just readily available.
Yeah. So I end up, like, accidentally consuming all this. Do you know
that's
how
no
many
problem,
episodes I've accidentally watched of Keeping Up with the Kardashians? Because it's just on in the office, or like...
I can't blame it. I mean, shit, why not?
You know what I really don't like about doctors' offices? Is those magazines. Because of all the sickies that touch them.
Well, I'm mostly scrolling through shit on my phone, so you know.
But I'm just saying, like, growing up, like I thought about that a lot. Like, I'm not reading that highlights magazine. I'm sorry, but
Saw a guy sneeze on that.
The snot-nosed kid that was here before me was rubbing his face and touching all the pages. No,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Since I've been old enough to, or had the capability to read, I've always been a nerd, and so I used to bring books to the doctor's
I brought my own
office.
book. Yeah, a lot of
Very
times.
normal.
Starting at like 6.
I just finished reading the part of the Lord of the Rings series. I finished reading the Silmarillion on an audiobook, which was 13 hours long. So that was like a good 2 days of reading at work in between like actually doing work, which was kind of nice because I can just move stuff with my hands and just like listen through my headphones that I have on. And it was pretty nice. I wouldn't really recommend reading the Silmarillion. It reads like a history book.
It's a difficult
for a place that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That's for the super
But
nerd.
look it up in like a YouTube video and find out the history of it from some incredibly
Then you can skip that
well documented YouTuber or something, or wait for the HBO series or whatever when they finally get around to making that.
Brian David Gilbert did a whole thing
yeah.
on reading all the Halo books, so you don't have to kind of things.
Yeah.
So many of them were just
That's fun, actually.
skippable. He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
no, you didn't need that one, or this one, or that one. Basically, the gist of that entire video that he spent over a year on, by the way, was
Yeah.
if you played Halo
need to read
1,
most
2,
of
and
this.
3, you're good. You got it. It's like
Yeah.
if you played the game, you're kind of set. And I'm like, wow, okay, thank you, sir. And honestly, as a kid, I only really played Halo 3 and beyond, and I got enough of the story to where,
Dude,
I
You
never
don't need it.
liked Halo 1 or 2. And nowadays, the graphics
Yeah.
and everything, I'm like, Halo 1 or 2 is objectively just, I wouldn't want to go through that even just for the story. I'm like, yeah, those games
Yeah.
are a little dated. I'm sure they were phenomenal in their day when they released, but
The Bionicle books, though, those were incredible.
I watched like a Bionicle movie or something, I think.
I need
The
an
movies were
adult.
terrible, but the books were great.
Yeah, and
if
as
you
a kid,
haven't-
I wouldn't have known. I enjoyed what was in front of me, and that was all I knew.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think it
I
was,
remember going to Barnes and Noble, finding those in there, and then just reading them all.
I really liked
Just-
Imaginext, I think
yeah,
is
it
what
was
it was
nice.
called. Is that a thing?
What
I
is
think
is
so.
that the type of Lego or
Connects.
connects?
Imaginext, and I think it was. I'm gonna look it up because this is like a vague childhood memory. My dad and I,
A
Imaginext?
vague child?
Yeah.
Vag.
Vague.
I think he meant to say it's a vogue childhood memory.
No. He meant vague.
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 Yeah. He just says vag. Yeah.
Not like
Is that
vagina.
a
Vague.
Minnesota?
Uncertain, indefinite, or
Because never
unclear.
says
so.
What is
anything
the
Minnesota.
confusedness here?
It's the difference
Unfocused?
It's the difference between bagel and bagel.
Oh, we're doing this again.
Or bagel.
That's what she was freaking out about.
Let me listen to Google quick.
Vague.
Vague. That's how you say it.
You said vag.
Vague.
You said
Yeah.
vag.
Oh,
You did.
get out of here. I switch
did. It
off.
was just
Like, you guys
confusing.
are.
I know, and I wasn't trying to give you shit for it. I was trying to explain it so that they would stop giving you shit for it.
It was like the bagel thing. Going on and on.
Mhm.
You and Ben's laughing at me, and I couldn't even hear it. I'm like, that's what I said.
I wasn't really laughing at you. I was laughing at Ben's reaction to you.
And you know what shut him up? Ben's thought he muted one time when he talked to his mom, and he has this rich New York accent where he talks to it like that, or not like that. That's too much, but like, you know what I mean? You know, where it's the R's go away to AH. You know, where he talks like this or that kind of thing.
I'm walking here.
Yeah, walking over
I'm
here.
walking here.
Yeah, there you go. The Boston, New York accent kind of thing. And they're not the same, but similar-ish. And he only defects that with his family. Like, I don't ever hear it otherwise. And he stopped talking. He was like, he shut him right up. What am I trying to look up here? I think it was Imaginext. I don't know. There was some kind of toy set where you could build different things. And my dad and I, we'd put out that card table because it was blue and it was kind of like an ocean. And we built whole scenes, the whole thing.
That's fun.
And I can't remember. I've never. What is Imaginext? Is that what it is? Okay, there's a Batman set. I don't know. That's not what I was using, but it might be Imaginext. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So I'll show this. I didn't ever do the Batman thing, but it gives you the idea that they're like sets of things. Let me show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, whatever, castles and little dudes and ships and whatever. And my dad and I would just build whole scenes. It was fun. I don't really care about
That
Magic
is pretty
Batman, but yeah, that was fun. I don't know. It's weird because it's like every time once in a while I get recommended these random YouTube videos of like somebody going down the rabbit hole of some game they enjoyed as a kid. And this is me. I've never ever heard anybody or anything ever reference Imaginext. I only ever saw it at Toys R Us before they went defunct. And without my memory, I have no understanding that even existed. But anyway, now he's denying his accent. Oh God, it was just so funny. Oh my God, I was talking to his mom one time, and it was like hearing a different person. It was like a whole.
Hey, yo, ma.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah! Where's my calzone?
He's such a domesticated Florida man now,
I'm not-
but
I
Did you eat my cannoli?
I had a big conversation with the Beast parents earlier today, as a matter of fact, about how I say certain things, and it makes Mom Beast think of Ron White, tater salad.
Oh
the whole
yeah,
stand-up comedy thing.
I could hear it.
Apparently, certain things I say, the way I say them, make her think of Ron White, and I was just like, oh well, yeah, that makes sense. He did inform a lot of how I see the world. Some, you know? But yeah, it's more. It's not like accent so much as it's mannerism, certain things that I emphasize a certain way or something like that. That she just, she locks in and goes, that's like Ron White. But yeah, I was like, yeah, makes sense. I could see
Ben says that he's not fucking playing about his cannoli. Sorry, this is too much fun
Coffee.
for me.
how do you say coffee? Coffee.
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 Do you want a Twizzler? How about a marshmallow?
I left my car keys in my car. Give me my car keys so I can get my cat keys out of my car.
Now you're going Boston. Be careful.
It's all the Northeast. You know what? It makes me happy. That's all that matters.
I mean, Griffin
Yeah,
being
exactly.
from Boston.
Speaking of Avatar, the Avatar: Last Airbender. Apparently, they're teasing a season 3, I think, or 4. I don't know.
4?
4.
Four.
Fourth one, or like a whole new
Well.
Avatar. They're gonna be focusing on the Earthbender chick. That's all. I know? No,
Oh no.
the one before
Uh,
him. Oh god,
they're doing
Kyoshi Warrior.
No, they. Kyoshi. That's her
Kyoshi
name.
Warrior.
Oh, Kyoshi, I'm gonna kill everyone, Avatar. Fuck yeah.
Is that her name, Kyoshi?
Yeah.
I smell something cooking.
The face painted chick. The fans. Anyway,
She's pretty cool.
Yeah,
The
and
books
apparently
about
that's-
her are great.
apparently she's like one of the more popular avatars, and seeing as she was right before Aang, that'd kind of be your top candidate if you wanted. Wasn't she?
No, there was Roku.
Oh,
Well,
she was-
yeah, going back in time.
She was
it's
a couple
Roku
before then, or very
Kyoshi.
very recent. Honestly, Roku's own show would be pretty badass too. I wouldn't even mind it.
Yeah.
He seemed
I
like
think it would also be cool to have the Avatar after
same,
Korra.
but I
Have like a cyberpunk avatar. That'd be fun.
after Korra. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, like I don't know, a gold bending avatar or something, or like someone that's able to like bend like electrical circuits or something.
And
That'd
I
be
feel
fun.
bad for even bringing it up because I didn't even check into it, but I heard it rumored. I might have watched a TV show, Jesus, a YouTube video or something. I don't even know where I heard it, but somebody brought it. Oh no, Jaffe sent me an article. That's what it was. I'm clicking it. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, it was a video by Emergency Awesome. New animated I'll just link it if anybody's curious. It's and it seemed like you had a lot to go off of, and it's got, and there's fan-made stuff that he shows, and he's talking about how it might happen. I don't know. I get too excited about that because I think Avatar: Last Airbender is like my favorite universe. Like not just show, but
Yeah.
like they built a world. I mean, that's so much more. Like Breaking Bad was a fantastically told story, but Avatar: The Last Airbender built a universe, and the outside show, the comics, manga, like they really fleshed it out. I'm excited for anything new in that world. I'm interested, and it's fun. It's fun to look forward to that. And
You should definitely read the Kyoshi novels. They're very good. And then I think there's also a bunch of graphic novels as well that are worth reading. If you like reading graphic novels. Some people
don't.
aren't, but
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on.
yeah. They're still fun though.
Yeah.
I need
No,
a purple whale.
this whole universe is completely outside of my realm. I don't.
Yeah. Well, this is earlier when you guys were talking about military and
Yep.
the bureaucracies. I think I was dead silent for almost like it might have been 10 minutes. I don't know that I said a word. I had nothing to add. I had nothing at all. But either way, I know Chriselle's always on my side with Avatar nerd stuff, so
Yeah.
I got him at least.
I
where I
like it, but I'm not
shine.
like balls deep in it. So like I can relate. Just like
No, I
But
get
now
excited.
I want to read the Kyoshi books, but I'm about to drop so much money on some titties, so not buying anything.
Well, that's happening.
You could
That's
probably find
really
the
cool.
audiobooks.
It's
on YouTube.
happening. I have my pre-op appointment tomorrow.
I always thought this was like a joke, like something you'd actually do, but now we're
Oh no.
bigger or
Oh
smaller.
no, this is something that I've wanted for
Bigger.
a long time.
Aren't we big enough? Oh my goodness.
Perkier.
I don't even know what perkier means.
It means she's had a child and she wants them to stand up and say hello again.
Got it.
Beast face when he said bigger. Thanks for the confidence boost, but I'm still getting bigger titties.
It's like this long running inside joke because she mentioned her strap and cup size in 2 different
Band.
streams, and I connected the dots.
And they were like weeks apart. Weeks. Maybe even months. It was not like it was the next day.
And I was like, oh. And all right, shit. I will never dissuade from from that operation, so you know. Beast
Well, you
Mine is
couldn't.
on
This is something that I've wanted for myself since I was
years.
like, since I was in my early 20s.
Well,
Like
Donna
I was
Boob
always
Job
like for
has
my
to go in the
30th,
title
and then
now.
my 30th came and went. But now by the time I'm 32, I'm gonna have a great rack. It's fine.
But yeah, even
sure the
more
husband's
so
on
since,
board, right?
since the child.
What?
I'm sure the husband's
little-
on board, right?
He doesn't care either way. This is
Really?
something I want for me. He's like, yeah, cool, titties, small, big, medium. I don't really give a shit. This is,
Yeah.
it might come as a shock, especially to Ben's, but my husband is an ass man. So,
You don't say.
So he's not
know.
concerned on what's going on the other side. He's like, you know, if you're happy, I'm happy.
yes.
Nah. You've complained about how the crotch goblin has ruined them
Oh,
a couple
yeah.
of different times too.
How do you ruin
This
it?
one is
Yeah.
way bigger than this one, so it'll be nice to get them evened out.
I heard that was a thing, that it was like really common that everybody's like got a slight difference in size.
Yeah, everyone has a slight difference. I've got like a size, maybe a size and a half difference.
Wow, that's significant.
I've got
Yeah.
one Tigo bitty and one medium bitty.
I had a friend who
I
had
mean,
that.
them being lopsided is fairly common. I think Robert Pattinson has the most lopsided nipples that I've ever seen.
My nipples are not lopsided, all right?
His are.
Because one is...
I'm not saying that yours are. I'm saying that his
Okay, I
are.
was like, let's
I just
not.
wanted to specify that. But
Did I tell you about the guy that my brother stabbed so many years ago? Like that was a whole thing.
I don't think you did.
You told me. I
Tell
remember
us
that.
more. Jeez.
Bobby Patrick is a friend of mine. He is still alive.
Okay.
He did die a few times in the helicopter. So we make fun of him and call him a zombie.
This
I'm
was
pretty
a
sure that came up
Thanksgiving
at some
story,
point or
by the
another.
way, chat.
But years ago, my
But he
brother
told
and him were very close friends. Like he stayed in my dad's house for a long time with my brother and everything. They were
Yeah.
like the best buddies kind of thing, and they were going out drinking together and doing all kinds of best friend shit all the time. And they ended up at a party one night. They were both drunk, and Joey told Bobby that Bobby's girlfriend was a whore, essentially. Bobby got all butthurt about it
Yeah.
because he had just called out Bobby's girlfriend.
I mean,
and
she was, though, wasn't she?
yeah. Oh yeah. But they got to fighting about this because they were both drunk, and Joey realized that at the party he didn't know anybody else. Bobby knew everybody else. So it was started to become a situation where Joey felt like he was about to get jumped by a bunch of people over this stupid fight that
Yeah.
wasn't even a thing to him. And he tried to get out of there, and he went to jump in the car with a guy that he was with. Was it Umberto? I don't remember. The guy's a Mexican guy. But he was going to get in the car with the guy, and the guy turns and hands him a pocket knife, like unfolds a pocket knife and hands it to him and says, "Defend yourself." And Joey, drunk, turns around and says, "If you come
The
at me, I'm
worst
gonna stick you."
Advice.
Like he held the knife out and said, "If you come at me, I'm gonna stick you." And Bobby, drunk, ran onto the knife, and it stabbed him right here,
Oh god.
and like missed his heart by a very small amount. But yeah, they had to helicopter him to the hospital for surgery and everything, and he died a few times in the helicopter on the way to the hospital. But they cut him open to repair the damage from his collarbone here to the top of his junk.
They cracked his
Jeez.
chest. Yeah.
And then when they sewed him back together, they sewed him back together off, like by a lot.
Sometimes I do that with my shirt buttons.
So
It kind of throws me off.
that's essentially what happened.
Oh.
But, yeah. So yeah, Bobby, Joey went to prison or went to county jail for this. He sat in county jail for like 6 months while they were figuring out what to do. Bobby eventually dropped the charges on him because he was like, he wasn't at fault. I ran onto the knife. We were both drunk. It was something that happened. It wasn't something he
Yeah.
did to me.
Have you seen Chicago the musical? He ran into my knife. He ran into my knife 10 times.
The really stupid part about that though was that Bobby, after saying he was dropping the charges, the police department tried to pick the charges up
Yeah.
and
How
wanted
is
to press
that
charges. And
cool?
yeah, and it was like, what? No,
They're
So
my
Bobby-
charges.
So Bobby had to go behind them and be like, no, no, no. If you pick up the charges, I'll help him fight it. It was just
That's
like,
an
what the hell
unwinnable
is happening
case.
here?
If
Yeah,
the
but-
victim is defending the perpetrator, like,
Yeah.
what are
And,
you
yeah,
even
it was
doing?
such a
Any
stupid-
judge would look at that and be like, seriously? Why are you taking my
Yep.
time?
And I think that's eventually why they ended up dropping it altogether and everything. But it was just such a stupid situation.
All
And
of that
like I
is
said,
so
like
stupid.
he's still a friend of mine. Like I talked to him since I've been here at Beast's house. Like when
Yeah.
I called back home one time, I talked to him, and I think that's how it came up for Thanksgiving, was that I talked to him on Thanksgiving when I called and
Mhm.
talked to my mom. But yeah, he's the guy that we all called a zombie. It's like you don't have a say, you died, and shit like that. But it was because my brother killed him.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, the way that story plays out, he killed himself on a knife your brother was
Mhm.
holding.
Yes.
I mean,
But he's
You weren't
alive.
killed by
he's
the
fine.
tree, you ran
he
into
has
the
a,
branch,
He has a
that was-
huge scar that runs from nuts to neck, and his nipples are offset
I was
by
gonna
like an
say,
inch
yeah,
and a
like
half.
that's so.
But yeah, he's fine.
Oh, good. Well, yeah. Might be a little imbalanced, but
So he has
Yeah.
I have two brothers. Well, one of my brothers has passed away, but I have an older brother also. Yeah. But yeah,
Still have two brothers, just like I still have two kids.
I finally
Yeah.
understood Barry's comment. This post was made by the Respawn gang. Imagine respawning in the helicopter, still bleeding.
terrible. It's like in GTA, they take half your money and send you out the door of the hospital.
Yeah.
That's kind of real
Yeah.
life, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, and
it's just after a long period of time, and they keep on calling you and calling you.
My dad gave me a number. Apparently
Mhm.
our insurance covers after 3,500. So we talked about this. I'm like, okay, next time I need to go to the hospital, I just gotta rack up $3,500 in bills, and then the insurance will cover it.
lots of Gatorades. Just keep 'em coming.
Yeah. Are you sure you got enough X-rays? You want more blood?
Snack packs. Let's go. I need a
Oh, I'm
Band-Aid.
starting to feel
2 of 'em.
worse. Maybe you should take me home in an ambulance.
Yeah.
I'd like to see how much my last visit would cost if I wasn't covered, because I had 2 EKGs that were like the Jillian lead ones, and then like just a constant EKG that was, I think, the 12 lead, and then I had a chest X-ray, and I had a CAT scan, and they ran blood and they ran urine. And so I would love to see how much that would cost in a civilian hospital. That would probably be
Yeah.
like $1 million, like literally.
Beast, I think I'm picking up Rosa through your speakers. a
You
little bit.
absolutely are. I hear myself.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Has that been
I
the
just
whole
noticed
show?
it,
Because
though.
I'd be remiss if you
I
just
I
bring it up
just
now.
noticed it just now, though. I don't know.
I have her on 126. I don't know why that sounds like. Well, she's in the car. That's right. There we
Oh,
go.
yeah.
That's been bugging me because like the speaker life is working 99% of the time, but every once in a while something comes through. Oh, that's true.
Just
Barry said
annoying
it's fine.
enough.
I heard it fine. Yeah, I think
Oh,
the
wow.
stream
Did you
has a
just call
noise.
Rosa annoying?
No, I'm talking about the
Just-
speaker
no, just-
thing.
I know you didn't.
Mr. Rude. I would never. How dare you, sir?
Yeah, it's supposed to it's here. Talk about that later. No. So the stream has a different noise gate, so you could hear Ben's and yourself in yesterday's stream, and you mentioned nothing. Oh boy.
Hmm.
All right, well that's your fault.
But
then.
it was barely noticed. Yeah, if
Your
even if
ears-
it was barely noticeable, say something. That's why as soon as I started hearing it, I said something. That's how what we do.
No. I've been shocked by how few people have complained though. It's weird, and it's odd how quickly I adjusted.
You hearing it, you feel like everybody should be able to hear that because you can hear it so well.
I thought
At least
you
that's how I
know.
look at it.
I thought no headphones would be some kind of transition, or nope. It's been pretty
It's
casual.
Just been better.
Oh, so
Yeah.
Been all right.
Well,
Oh no,
we're
he's doing
10
it.
minutes after the mark, and I need to use the bathroom. So, are we gonna
Oh.
call this, or should I make a run and come back?
I don't know. I think we're good. I think we're all right.
Yeah, calling it for the podcast for today.
Yeah. You did it again.
Real quick though, I do want to address the fact that I saw Chriselle's wonderful shirt when he got up and went out of the room and came back, and it
is a shirt.
happens to match
Ta-da.
mine, just in a different color.
Yeah. One of us is
Well,
gonna
you
have to
know.
change.
I think
Rose
there
Man.
might
you're
be a
sad
button or
boying
something
it
that
because
I
she doesn't have one.
Overlay.
I like
Yeah,
her
no.
sweatshirt. That's cool.
All right, I can't.
Yes, I know. But yes, the Minerva merch store thing is merch.minerva.gg if you guys are interested in the shirts and stuff. And Beast actually added
Made
masks
face masks.
to the store, and I have one here. If I don't know if
Other
I can
way.
turn it the right way.
Almost.
Tied again.
It's a,
Donna,
little,
respawn quick.
it's a little beast heart on a mask.
It's cute.
So if you guys are interested, that's all out there and available. But yeah, I gotta use the bathroom, so let's call this and get the
Minerva
heck out of here.
Podcast episode 59.
Bye.
See you.